Twitch. Welcome to the best wrestling podcast on Color Circuit Live, because it is the only wrestling podcast on Color Circuit Live. That's right. Sit down and pile drive. I'm your host, Connor. This is the other host,
Connor.
And today we're going to talk about what? Professional wrestling. That's right. You heard it here first. We got a lot of things in the news. Griff is going to talk about his experience in Long Beach. That's right, wrestling fans. He was at Strong Style Evolved and a PWG show, and we're going to talk about all of that great stuff. He's great. You suck. Let's get started.
Damn right.
So, what a difference a couple of weeks make. When we did our first podcast, we kind of touched upon Daniel Bryan, and we were both in agreement that he probably was never going to get cleared by the WWE. 2 weeks later, what happens?
He gets cleared by the WWE.
He gets cleared
What the
by
heck?
You know, funny thing. I woke up that morning feeling really good. I don't know why.
Probably final deletion or ultimate deletion.
Ultimate deletion was amazing. And then, again, I did not know this was going to happen. I put on my Respect the Beard t-shirt, my Daniel Bryan merch that I love so much. Went about my day, had a pretty great day, was able to look at my phone, and what did I see? Daniel Bryan cleared by the WWE. It was universe, man.
I honestly didn't believe it when it happened, because it was like a joke. I had to look at multiple places just to see if it was true, because I work nights, I didn't get up till like 4.
Yeah.
So I had I just opened up Reddit and I just see like streams of Daniel Bryan. What is he gonna do now that he's cleared? And I was like, dummies, you don't even know he's not gonna be cleared. What are you talking about? And then sure enough, he was.
Oh, and the outpouring of all of the other superstars on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that was amazing. I mean, it's a game changer in the WWE. It's really a game changer in wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know where do they go from here, because I bet you they didn't have any plans.
I mean, dream matches that get to happen almost on a regular basis. We're going to get to see a Daniel Bryan versus an AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Supposedly on a SmackDown or a Raw.
I said, I was telling you before we started, I really, 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 really want to see Daniel Bryan versus Pete Dunne.
Oh, yeah.
Insanely.
Absolutely. Daniel Bryan versus Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong. I know, dude. And Johnny Gargano. I know everybody, I don't know if I want to see that match because they're both the same person, and you can't occupy the same space without destroying the time continuum.
Where a heel comes out and interrupts the match.
Yeah.
We never get to see
Tommaso Ciampa always he always ruins it. He just hits them with kendo sticks or with with the walking stick.
I feel like we just spoiled that match. When it happens, that's what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. It's going to be oh my God, we can't wait to see this match. Ciampa!
Oh, with a crutch.
Psycho killer. It's just going to be it's going to be insane. But yeah, of course, Shinsuke versus Daniel Bryan. That's the reason Shinsuke came to WWE. In the entire purpose of it.
That match is both terrifying and exciting to think about.
Oh, dude, it's going to be awesome.
They're going to be testing him after every match he has. They're going to be testing his head to make sure that it's still good, which I think is exciting.
My head good.
I think one of the best things to come out of this is Daniel Bryan is going to continue wrestling for the WWE.
Yeah.
Where they're going to keep an eye on him.
Yep.
And make sure that he's not overdoing it. Because to me, I've talked about this in depth, part of the reason Daniel Bryan had to retire was if he was going to continue working for the WWE, he's doing all of these moves like the Hurricane Ranas and the diving headbutts and the suicide dives and all of these moves that if you mess it up, you're hitting your head and you're hurting yourself really bad. And he's wrestling this fast breakneck style. He's doing it 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Every week for pretty much the entire year. I think they only get 60 days off total?
I think it's 280 a year, 280 days of working a year.
Yeah.
So do the math.
With the constant travel, having to constantly be in cars and stuff like that, that puts a strain on your body. Daniel Bryan's style had to change. When he left the first time after winning the title at WrestleMania 30 and had to relinquish it.
Yeah.
When he came back, what was the first thing they did? They put him in a fucking ladder match.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he had a neck injury.
Live television's hard, guys.
We just need a please stand by. No, it's fine.
What is this? Just rip it off?
All right. But yeah, it was more of a neck injury at that time. The concussion wasn't even an issue.
Yeah, that was WrestleMania.
It was Sheamus's big ass that fucking knocked his brain out.
Yeah, don't put him with Sheamus. Sheamus is gonna legitimately hurt him because Sheamus wants to show how tough he is.
Yeah.
Sheamus is the definition of a wrestler with a complex.
Yeah, just ask Yoshitatsu.
Or didn't he fight Unico?
Oh yeah, Unico.
He fought Sin Cara.
Yeah,
Sin Cara is secretly
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best wrestler in the
Yeah,
entire.
yeah. Him and Yoshitatsu, man. Yoshitatsu apparently knocked him clean out, from what I've read.
No,
But it's never been confirmed, so it's all speculation, you know.
We'll ask Yoshitatsu.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing Bullet Club Hunter and
He's just sitting at
whatever.
the table on his phone.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it's crazy because, you know, I really didn't think this was gonna happen. Like
No.
100%. And I heard some like rumors online that this might have been like in their back pocket for emergencies, and with the whole like Fabulous Moolah controversy that happened, this could have been a way to get him back into the good graces. I don't believe that. I think he was 100% like they were like,
Yeah.
he was like, who do I need to prove to for you to clear me? And then he probably gave him like a list of names he had to go see. He probably went and saw all of them. They all gave him a good clear.
I think that this is probably one of the best things the WWE's ever done for a wrestler.
Yeah.
As much as I want to see Daniel Bryan wrestle, I don't want to see him in at an ROH or a New Japan show where Suzuki's gonna legit just club him in the fucking head. As hard
Yeah,
as he can.
that's true. But I have a feeling they're a little more careful. Like, and also he wouldn't be wrestling as much.
Yeah.
He would be wrestling, you know, he'd probably just do TVs or Ring of Honor, if that. He could be just a special attraction like Kenny and, you know, do things like that. And I know he wanted to wrestle in CMLL. That was like one of his big like bucket list kind of items. And I don't think there's a lot of head trauma in Lucha Libre. It's a lot of momentum switching.
I know, but that would have definitely strained his neck.
Yeah, that neck is one thing, you know, but the concussions is
at this point,
different.
All of the wrestlers I want to see Daniel Bryan wrestle are in the WWE.
Oh yeah. Hell
like,
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The idea of a Marty Scurll match is exciting to me.
Yeah, or Kenny Omega.
Or Kenny Omega.
Okada
would be amazing.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But those are few and far between, as opposed to like in WWE where they have guys who he might have wrestled in the past, but not.
I mean, a
on
Lars
that level.
Sullivan Daniel Bryan match is going to be awesome.
Dude, I
I want to see him wrestle Oni Lorcan.
Dude, I know it's bad, but I really, really want to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I feel like we have to.
It has to happen. If they can just convince Brock to do one match at like maybe like SummerSlam or even like Survivor Series, it'd be perfect. Even though I think they're gonna save Survivor Series for Daniel Bryan versus Kurt Angle. I think that's gonna happen.
Do you think Brock Lesnar is gonna re-sign with the WWE?
No, I think he will maybe do a per appearance with the WWE, but as a contracted wrestler, nah.
Yeah,
not at all.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think he'll like show up for WrestleMania, do the Undertaker kind of thing where he just shows up, either put someone over or put someone in a body bag. You know, he'll just show up, kick some ass, and leave, and then nobody will ever think about him again.
I think he's probably the best Universal Champion we've had so far, and that's including. And they fucked up Kevin Owens as champion. They fucked it up.
Yeah, for sure.
But they needed someone for television. As much as I love Jericho, the focus needed to be on Owens, but Jericho was so entertaining that you could not. Kevin Owens was an afterthought.
Yeah, and also
then he dropped to Goldberg.
I mean, even Brock dropped to Goldberg at one point.
Yeah.
So like, I can't be that mad. But the thing is, like, Brock versus Goldberg didn't need a title, and then they gave it a title, and it just felt like, oh, okay, just another match.
Mm-hmm.
But Brock holding a title for this long has kind of bugged me. It's kind of put like some wrestlers on the back burner.
Yeah.
So people like Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. Yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm just kidding.
It was Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor. He never got his rematch.
Daniel Bryan match.
Oh yeah, Finn Balor versus Daniel Bryan.
That'll be great. Carl Anderson versus Daniel Bryan. No, Carl
I
Anderson.
love Carl Anderson. I'm just saying, like, in WWE.
Oh, Luke Harper versus Daniel Bryan.
Luke Harper. He's just like Bludgeon Brothers with his little toy
Yeah.
hammer, that little squeaky toy hammer.
I mean, imagine like Big E versus Daniel Bryan in just a match.
Oh yeah, like all the like normal matches that they can have just like from TV to TV are good. But honestly, I think at first they're going to be keeping them at like just at pay-per-views.
He's definitely going to be feuding with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the next few months.
You think so? I think it's going to blow over after WrestleMania.
It depends on if if Shane McMahon is not gonna wrestle, then they're probably just gonna make it a triple threat match.
Yeah.
In which case, I imagine that'll be one and done. But if it's like Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, I imagine it carrying over. It all depends.
Right. Or what I think they're going to do is probably whoever wins the WWE Championship, Shinsuke or AJ, depending on who wins,
I feel like
they're probably going to have that person wrestle him at SummerSlam.
Do you think Daniel Bryan returning? I feel like that keeps the title on Styles.
No, I think Styles is going to Raw.
Yeah,
I think now with Daniel, I think they're going to keep Daniel Bryan on SmackDown because he wants to stay on
what are they gonna do
SmackDown.
with Styles on Raw. If
Feud with Finn Balor, feud with Roman Reigns, feud with.
But Roman Reigns is such the fixture. I don't want AJ. Like SmackDown is the house that AJ Styles built, and it feels that way.
Yeah, but he can easily just be like, I built that house, time to build this house
Now
even higher.
Now time to
adding
add
more to
on
the foundation.
add on a deck.
Yeah, and also they're going to be losing a lot of wrestlers in Raw, so they're probably going to lose like Seth Rollins, maybe Finn Balor even.
Yeah.
They might be doing like a thing where they kind of keep them separated for a long, long time till they finally meet again.
Yeah, because
they fought and it was great, but
I know
there's
that-
no backstory, and I think you can totally like build up to something like a Big Four and have them face each
we
other.
want to see the Bullet Club storyline in the WWE.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's kind of like, I think one of the payoffs of the Ultimate Deletion was we waited so long for it.
Yeah.
Like when he came in, we were like, oh, it's time. And
Yeah.
then a month went by. It's like, what's going on? Why haven't we gotten it yet? 2 months
Yeah.
go by. When like, 4
Well,
months.
you were probably like me, and you thought that, oh, it's going to be at WrestleMania. Put it on the pre-show or like the first thing of the night
I still
while
feel
people
like
are
we're
still
gonna
getting
get one.
because remember like last year they had the year even I went to WrestleMania, they were having trouble with people coming in. It would be a perfect thing. You just put it on the Titantron while people are coming in. People can watch it as they're like getting their popcorn and food.
That could be your pre-show.
It would have been like perfect as like a pre-show thing.
An hour long.
Hour-long Iron
Hour-long.
Man deletion. The Iron deletion.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. 30 minutes.
Mower of
yes.
Lawn killed me. Mower of Lawn killed me.
Mower of lawn, chair of wheels. No, dude, the part where he's just like, where he's just like walking around the cemetery and he's disappearing. He's like, "Oh, shh."
I wonder how meta they want to get with it, because it did not get super meta.
No, yeah, like they could have easily thrown Bray Wyatt in the lake and have him come out at Husky
I'm
Harris.
glad they didn't do that. I think that's
I really thought that Bludgeon Brothers. This is what I thought they were gonna do, and I don't know if I'm disappointed or just whatever. I thought Bludgeon Brothers were gonna show up with their hammers and stuff, and then they'd be pushing the Lake of Reincarnation, come out as Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
It frustrates me. Bray Wyatt is the most bungled character in the entire history.
He has so much potential.
He's
Like
so
he
good.
is so he's great on the mic, but he needs to have like a point.
And
Even if his point doesn't make sense, like if he's like beating around the bush.
or just the Wyatt family. He doesn't even need.
Oh yeah, the Wyatt family was
like,
great.
Like WWE had this strange obsession with breaking up the Wyatt family, and it was like,
Yeah, they've done it
why?
like 3 times.
Why? They're perfect
Yeah.
together. They work great. You put them in something, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt by himself, I'm not as interested.
You know what they might do? I just thought of this now. Because the shakeup's happening or whatever, that's rumored to happen at Backlash or whatever.
I think they were talking about just doing a draft.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they put Bludgeon Brothers and Bray Wyatt together again. And since he's in the Lake of Reincarnation, he can come back as like a bludgeon like Bray. Not really call it that, but something like along that line where he's still like the leader.
Like the concept of Sister Abigail minus their terrible execution.
Oh yeah. It could just. But I'm saying like have him more like dressed like the Bludgeon Brothers, just brayed out.
Hell, we can revisit the Daniel Bryan Bray Wyatt rivalry.
Dude, you're making a joke, but that was a great
No, I'm
rivalry.
I'm not. I love that they when he first. No, it's Mexico Entertains magazine. It's a great magazine. I definitely don't work for that company, but you should check them out. They're awesome.
I
And,
can honestly say I don't work for that company.
Yeah. No, when Daniel Bryan's return was first announced, they showed the video of, because that was The build up to WrestleMania 30 was whether or not I was going to continue watching wrestling.
Was it that much for you?
Because I love Daniel Bryan. I love him, and they were wasting him, and he should have been in the title scene, but Batista is, and Randy Orton is, but not Daniel Bryan.
Dude, I'm ride or die for life, dude. I've officially made that decision that, like, I'm never going to just stop watching wrestling just because I've been watching wrestling my whole life. There's nothing else I know.
I probably would still watch. But it was just this moment, because I think I felt Daniel Bryan was going to win. It was just my line in the sand where it was like, if you fuck me over, if you fuck me over and I buy WrestleMania 30 and Daniel Bryan does not walk out champion, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously going to beat Triple H.
Yeah.
But he might not win that title. And he needs to win that fucking title.
Yeah.
So anyway, they show the video of that steel cage match the Wyatts had when he was with the Wyatts. They had that, and they had that match with the Usos. And they cut to him turning on the Wyatt family. And it was like tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching that as it was happening.
Yeah. If you look up over in the dictionary, it's just a picture of Daniel Bryan on the cage just doing the yes.
And the entire audience.
Oh, dude, it was insane.
That night when they did the championship thing with John Cena and Randy Orton. Granted, they did it in Seattle. What the fuck did you expect to happen?
Dude, that's why I'm wondering, like, how much of, like, because we know, like, we know what the dirt sheets have told us.
It's frustrating.
It's weird to know, like, I want to know, like, how much they actually...
Kayfabe's not dead. It's just changed.
Yeah. It's false information. It's fake news.
WWE's not stupid. They understand what we're doing.
Yeah, I think Triple H
Although at the same time, if they... Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
This Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar storyline. How do you feel about
it? It's interesting. Better than if it was just a regular booking, and it makes
with the title.
Yeah, tug of war with the title, right? But I think it has potential. I think they've been kind of being a little crappy about it lately. I didn't really I don't really watch Raw day to day when I watch the highlights.
Yeah, same.
And from what I've seen, it's like seems cool. Like I like the idea of him trying to like make it seem like I'm here, he's not. That's a cool idea. But the problem is he keeps saying things like, oh, you're just Vince McMahon's boy, and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, dude, you shouldn't have done that. You should have just kept with it like, I might be Vince McMahon's boy as well, but at least I'm here. You know? I take my whipping like a man, because I'm big dog. You know, like, yeah.
I liked the first one. When Roman Reigns did that first one, it felt real. The problem is now that it's very obvious that this is their plan, it kind of... Jesse Collins on Wrestling Inc., who I normally do not agree with, wrote an article.
Throwing shade.
No.
I'm just kidding.
If your articles just reek of, okay, you don't like the WWE, I get it.
Yeah.
I kind of turned my brain off.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how the way they're doing this is kind of sinking to a new low. And I kind of agree with it, where you're forcing this idea that Roman Reigns cares about the business, and that's why you should cheer him, because Brock Lesnar doesn't care about the business. But at the same time, you are knowingly telling Brock Lesnar to not show up.
Yeah, that's a little...
in order to
that stuff is all weak. I like the idea of it trying to be a little more realistic, like when Roman went to the back and there's Vince McMahon on the, on his like little like
I just
headphones
think they need
or whatever.
Paul Heyman for that, because the way they're doing it, it's...
Oh, like... So I was on Reddit when Raw was on once, and someone was like, thank you for that Paul Heyman promo. It was so good. And then I watched it. I was like, that wasn't very good.
No, Paul Heyman has not been cutting amazing promos.
No, I think he's checked out like Brock is checked out. And
they just need they need to give him something to do.
Yeah, that's why the pairing with Ronda Rousey. But like pairing with Ronda Rousey might be a bad idea, because you do that, it's literally going to be parallel with Brock Lesnar. People are just going to say, oh, it's just a female Brock Lesnar. I was going to say Paige. Put Ronda Rousey as leader of Absolution.
Yeah, because
it would make
Paige
sense.
Is gonna have to retire.
Yeah, and she can talk, and she's over, and she can get Ronda over, and just like you don't need to make Ronda a heel, but you can make Absolution a face.
Yeah,
people want to cheer Paige. I want to cheer Paige. I love Paige.
I think Ronda Rousey should start off as a heel.
No, because nobody's gonna boo her.
No, they will. It's kind of like hurting. Get the initial pop,
dude.
Get the initial face stuff out of the way, and then bring in, turn her heel, make her have her join Absolution.
I don't think she can handle being heel, truthfully. So, and there's no knock on her, but she is new. So, like, I've seen like a lot of stuff with wrestlers, and like when they're first starting out, you never want to start off wrestling as a heel. because the heel is in control of the match and control of everything. Like controls the crowd, controls the match, and like sells and everything like that. And she's gonna be a white meat babyface. She's gonna do the fire ups and get everybody happy. Plus, if she's gonna be a bad guy, she's not gonna help but smirk and like break, because when she's like, "You're a doo-doo head," well, and that's gonna be what it is. And it's just like, I don't know what else.
Hopefully, whoever's writing that promo for her gets fired, Road Dogg.
Yeah, Road Dogg.
Did you see that snap where he's like saying, "I'm gonna go kill SmackDown"?
Yeah,
and
I
like
did.
They're laughing about it. I'm like, but you are. It's
yeah.
not funny.
No, I think they know, because I've also heard that everybody knows that SmackDown was bad. So I bet you they're just like, well, let's just tough it out, get to the draft, start over.
Yeah.
I bet you they're gonna bring. I would not be surprised if they give Triple H the book for SmackDown. It's done wonders for 205 Live.
Oh,
He
yeah.
kills it in NXT. And if the rumors are right about him like building a team for NXT, I bet you Vince will give him SmackDown as like a testing ground
before he just
takes over the company. And like, if ratings go up for SmackDown, there is a constant between all three of those shows.
He's already pretty protective of a lot of wrestlers on Raw.
Yeah,
I think that's probably why Asuka's. I'm telling you, man, Carmella's gonna be the person who ends her streak.
No,
I'm telling you.
Way. Okay.
I'm telling you. No, because if plans are for her to stay on Raw, she can't hold on to that SmackDown Women's title, but she can beat Charlotte for it.
I got two ways out of this that will make you happy.
Okay, and then we'll talk. We'll move on to the next thing.
One, Carmella gets drafted to Raw.
Ooh, I'm listening.
And B, cashes in on Nia Jax
Okay.
at WrestleMania.
Okay, and then Asuka goes to SmackDown.
In fact, not cashing on Nia Jax, cashing in on Alexa in that match, and do kind of like a symbolism, and kind of like there's like a weird like parallel between the Seth Rollins and because I love Alexa Bliss. She's my girl. I love her so much, but I don't think that match is gonna be like spectacular.
That's a pre-show match.
Yeah, it's pre-show. But if you put it on the main card and then have Carmella cash, because it never said anywhere during the Money in the Bank that they have to cash in on their brand.
They're in a lose-lose.
So they could either wait more, put her on Raw, and then cash it on Nia Jax on a random Raw. Maybe with Ronda Rousey just knocks her the fuck out or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's like, you don't know what it's like to be a real wrestler, Ronda. And then Ronda just gives her that angry face. So can't help but smirk because, she's still kind of green. She's like,
she's a mark like us.
And then just clocks her and knocks her clean out. And then you just see Carmella, the F-A-B-U-L-O-U-A.
So you think okay, I have WrestleMania 34 predictions in the docket.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, I'm down.
But anyway, so you love Sami Callihan.
I love Sami Callihan. I'd say he's probably like top 10 in my top 10 favorite wrestlers currently going right now.
I was like, I gotta talk to Griff about this.
Yeah.
I have so many questions for him as a Sami Callihan fan.
Oh yeah.
And while don't get me wrong, it's great that he's okay. So if you're unaware of what we're talking about, a month ago.
About a month ago. Well, technically it was a couple months ago, but on TV, it was about a month ago.
On television, about a month ago, Sami Callihan was involved in a spot in Impact Wrestling, which is a promotion we'll talk about someday. Because
apparently it's getting better. I haven't watched it.
I feel like that's open to.
I don't got pop.
Yeah.
So either like find a way to watch it, if you know what I mean, or don't.
So Sami Callihan, a wrestler of Combat Zone Wrestling.
I was gonna say
fame. I'm like, what did you expect? He's like,
he is so intense. He is
a.
I always love wrestling where you can't tell if it's real or if it's staged. And when you find out it is like staged or whatever, and it looks that damn real, it's amazing to me. So that's why I like New Japan so much. And going there, like, it's just these guys
we got a new follower.
Oh,
Richie RPG is now a scoundrel.
Oh, thank you, Richie. We really appreciate it.
So Sami Callihan was involved in a spot on Impact Wrestling with Eddie Edwards, who is one half of the greatest tag team
that never existed. I'm just kidding. No, American Wolves were fantastic.
Davey Richards seems like a very mean person.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I've always said, like, if they made a Chris Benoit movie, Davey Richards should play Chris
Oh, yeah,
Benoit
he
because
would.
he's like a spitting image of Chris Benoit. And I feel like, and they both have the same like idol of Dynamite Kid because like when Davey Richards was starting off, like in like 2000, I want to say 5, he was called Dynamite Davey Richards. You know, he was in the first Battle of Los Angeles PWG
Yeah, and
as Dynamite.
His whole get up is like that. So anyway,
Yeah.
So Sam Callahan comes out after he loses a match to Eddie Edwards. I
Yeah,
believe.
I only saw the spot, so I didn't see the lead up.
So he beats up Eddie Edwards. He puts he brings out a baseball bat, and he brings out this really flimsy, crappy plastic chair.
An indie chair.
And he goes and okay, so this is the part that I don't understand. He goes to hit the chair that's like propped up. It's not like the chair is just laying on him. He actually sets the chair up so you could sit on it. He goes to hit it. It just kind of slides off the chair, and he just smashes Eddie Edwards in the face with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And it blew up, and people were pissed. The wrestling fans were divided about it. Wrestlers, like, this is where it gets, because also Chris Hero had stuff.
What did he say? I'm curious.
I don't know if it's a work or not, because Cassius Ono, I mean, you know, he gets hardcore wrestling.
Yeah, he wrestled in CZW for like 5 years.
He flat out. So Jim Cornette, who, if you don't know, is a wrestling legend and also at the same time a very controversial figure in professional wrestling.
Also known as a dick.
He is a hot-headed man who has a lot of...
He's lovable as hell. Like I can't help but like the guy, even though I disagree with everything he says. Literally, anything he says, I'm like, you're wrong.
That's why we make a great team. I love Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, other than because he'll make personal attacks on professional wrestlers where he'll actually like say...
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Jim Cornette.
I think he was one of the first people to go on Twitter and really trash Sami Callihan, tagging him in some stuff, calling him some names. And Sami Callahan's response was he responded like a heel.
Yeah, he responded like a professional.
Actually, Jim Cornette has another thing where he rants about how he's pissed off that the only person to take his advice about staying character.
Yeah. That's
to
say. We were talking a little bit before, and you were saying, "Did you see that?" I was like, "That's what I saw."
Yeah,
was him just going like, "Man, I fucking hate that the one person that
this dipshit Sami Callihan."
Yeah, is the dipshit.
My friend in the face with a baseball bat.
Yeah. Now, okay, so I'm gonna give my opinion.
Well, anyway,
you go ahead, and
I'll
say.
Cassius Ono. And so Sami Callahan's response was basically, I'm just watching my bank account go up. Like,
yeah.
And Cassius Ono responded with, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, that sounds kayfabe to me.
I feel like I'm hoping it is because I'm like, Cassius Ono's way too smart
to
like get into that kind of
And I'm pretty sure they're friends.
I like to think Sami Callihan apologized.
Oh, yeah, immediately.
Like, oh, my God, are you okay? Are you
okay?
Oh,
God, Eddie, are you all right? You know, like that stuff. Like, I guarantee it.
I don't think the fault belongs in Sami Callahan's hands. I believe it belongs in the hands of Impact producers.
All right.
All it took was someone going, let me get you a better chair.
Yeah.
Or can we rethink this spot a little bit?
Yeah.
Keep the baseball bat, keep the chair, but instead of, like, how does just laying the chair on him and hitting the chair with the baseball bat differ from, no, I'm going to prop it, you're going to hold it up.
Yeah.
How does that affect it more?
I think the chair placement was bad.
Bad, yeah.
And not in the way that you're thinking. I think it was supposed to be around the neck, not the body. Because I'm looking at the photo right now.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Eddie Edwards is holding the chair like garbage.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think Sami Callihan is to blame, but he's not 100% to blame. I think Eddie Edwards knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, he's holding it. It's all wobbly, and it was probably supposed to be close to his throat, so that when he comes down with the bat, all fake-like, it's just like, and he holds it with his hand so that it reduces the impact.
I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah, accidents happen, of course.
And that's what this is. It's an accident.
Yeah.
I think the problem for me is Impact Wrestling is kind of going towards. They had the barbed wire match that they couldn't show on
Did you watch that?
I did. I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't violent at all. Like there was like one or two blood spots, and then there was a skewer spot, which they do on like.
My thing is Impact Wrestling's not going to get anywhere if they cater more towards like the death match
Yeah.
because they've been trying to change their image for the last 8 years.
Yeah. Well, I think
Every year they're going through an image change.
yeah. But goddamn, I love death matches.
I know, I do
I
too.
fucking love
Terry
death
Funk
matches.
versus
It's so
Sabu
bad. I
in a
need
barbed wire
therapy.
Oh,
I need
God.
therapy. I love them so much, dude.
One of the best wrestling DVDs I had was Bloodsport, where it was like the most violent matches in ECW history.
Yeah, like the Taipei death match or whatever.
That match is so
Oh,
great. and
It's so brutal.
bloody when fucking Ian Rotten picks off the piece of glass in his glove and he's just cutting
Yeah.
his brother's head open. And then
it's-
they bring
ugh.
out thumbtacks.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, like, because I've been on a kick with death matches lately. Because I started watching GCW Game Changer Wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I heard about them through Joey Janela's Spring Break.
Yeah, that's
Which
same.
yeah. And so I went back and watched their stuff, and I was like, damn, this is like old school CZW, like 2003 CZW, where you have fantastic spot wrestlers and then death matches. And it's awesome because, like, for me, when I watch wrestling, one of the biggest things I pay attention to is aesthetic. So the reason why I don't watch Impact is because the aesthetic for me just isn't there.
Garbage.
It's just not there. I love Lucha Underground. The aesthetic there is fantastic. GCW has like this almost like underground, like almost like cockfighting, but with like people.
Yeah.
And it's fucking brutal. And they got like, they brought back Nick Cage now that he's out of jail. Yeah, and like you got him back. He's so much better. He's not like on drugs anymore, at least as far as I know. But he's not on drugs anymore. And from everything I've heard, everybody loves Nick Gage. He talks a lot of shit, but he's apparently a super nice guy.
Yeah.
So whatever, and he's just coming in. He's trying to like bring back deathmatch wrestling to a forefront, and they're killing it. Like, I watched the Nick Gage Invitational, this year, and it was awful, like in a good way, like you don't want to watch it.
The clusterfuck.
No, like awful as in a good way, as in like there's some gory shit in that.
Oh.
It's not like Sexy Eddie 2000 or
New
Tournament
Jack.
of Death, where they're
New
like
Jack.
squirting blood out of the artery.
New Jack's busting his head open.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's very safe from what I've seen. Like apparently, like Matt Tremont and Ricky Shane Page have kind of been like bringing in like a more safer style of death matching, which doesn't really seem like appealing to like. You don't notice it if you're not watching, but like you notice there's not as many injuries with deathmatch wrestling
Well,
these days.
It's 2018, and we don't need to see wrestlers getting their heads caved in.
No. Like I watched like a compilation of Tournament of Death, and there was a guy, I forgot who it was. He literally picked up a cinder block and cocked the guy in the head with it.
As dark
It
as
was
this next
brutal.
sentence I'm gonna say is,
All right.
I think one of the best things to ever happen to professional wrestling is the Chris Benoit incident, because it forced wrestlers and wrestling companies
Oh, wait.
to take a look.
I see you down
'cause
there. Yeah, he's definitely in hell.
Because the chair shots and the amount of
Oh,
chair
yeah,
shots during Chris Benoit's main event
Yeah.
period were brutal.
Yeah. No, it was like because like The Rock and Mankind.
Oh,
yeah.
we have that photo up. The violence in wrestling.
Yeah.
Violence in
It's
wrestling.
like have you ever seen Beyond the Mat? Of course, you probably have.
I love
Yeah,
that.
dude, that's so like that match is hard to watch after watching that documentary.
Oh yeah.
Because you think, oh, they're it's all fake, or and like they know what they're doing, and then you watch
The
that documentary and
Rock
realize that The Rock just went
beats
nuts.
the shit out of him with
Yeah,
that chair.
he brutalized him for no fucking reason. I think he just was like,
Mick
Whoo!
Foley describes it in his book. I believe it's his second one, Have a Nice Day. No, not Have a Nice Day. It's Mick Foley is Good.
okay,
Where he talks about his theory that because he took those chair
Yeah.
shots, he feels he explained that it was two people getting lost in the story.
oh,
And
okay,
he
okay, that
doesn't
makes sense.
He doesn't consider it a good match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's an amazing match.
Oh yeah, it's hell yeah. But it is hard to watch that ending after knowing like
and
what it was.
It's the minute he goes to the floor
yeah,
and the blood just slowly drips
Yeah.
from his head onto the cement.
yeah.
That is hard to watch. And knowing what we now know about concussions, it's even harder.
Yeah. Like
and then The Rock never
like,
apologized.
Mick Foley should be fucking like thanking like whatever God that he believes in that he's still here and cognizant.
Oh,
He
yeah.
apparently has like memory loss issues, but it hasn't affected him in a way like Chris Benoit.
The fact that McFoley's alive and has such a good outlook on life
Yeah.
is a miracle and a testament to McFoley the person.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's entire promotions that their entire idea is centered around violence.
Yeah. Like I said, we were talking about CZW. That's like the big one.
Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yeah, CZW was kind of like born out of the emphasis of ECW shutting
EC
down.
yeah.
And they were basically just trying to bring together the ECW with Japanese deathmatch wrestling. Like, I forget the name, but like
FMW.
FMW, yes, with Onita,
Yeah.
you know, and things like that with like the exploding death matches, the
C4.
C4
What was
exploding
that
death
match?
match.
The
The-
Funk Heck. I'm gonna look it up. Keep
Yeah,
talking.
And they started bringing in like things like light tubes, which wasn't they might have done it in ECW, but I can't remember that like crazy. But light tubes, cinder blocks. They were bringing in fire. Fire was very rarely used in ECW. I think Dudley Boys were the only ones who really did it.
Yeah.
And but then they were bringing in like, you know, a lot of Japanese influenced death match, which if you've never seen Japanese death matches, they're fucking insane. Like I believe they had one where it was like sharks. They had sharks in the water.
The Cactus
It's not real sharks, but they were sharks in the water.
Cactus Jack versus Terry Funk barbed wire exploding C4
Yeah,
match.
yeah. Exploding death match. Yeah, barbed wire exploding death match. And but yeah, they just started bringing that in, and it was all about like spots. Like CZW was like spot.
It was garbage wrestling for a long time.
Oh yeah,
too. It was-
100%.
Like if you came from, I remember when they signed John Moxley,
Yeah,
the WWE. When my first thought was like from fucking Combat Zone.
yeah.
Okay.
I was so stoked about John Moxley coming.
John Moxley.
He's
I
like
think-
one of the best promos on the indies, and they came in and made him a little shell of himself.
I was so yeah. Dean Ambrose
Yeah.
sucks.
Mhm.
I was not the wrestler himself, but that character is so
Yeah.
one. It's because he's a face.
Yeah.
He'll be
Turn him heel.
My face when I saw the Kevin Owens DVD and they name dropped Combat Zone Wrestling was
Yeah.
wow.
Well, yeah, because like Combat Zone Wrestling, like it started off as garbage wrestling, 100%, but it was born out of the love for ECW.
When ECW is amazing.
Yeah. So it brought in like all these deathmatch stuff, and they did like Tournament of Death, Cage of Death, you know, the Tangled Web, things like that, where it's like, fuck, why are they doing that? That's so crazy. But as it went on, around like I think like 2006 or 7, they started doing like Best of the Best and things like that, where it was like a tournament of good wrestling.
Drew Gulak
And that's
came
where you
in.
bring in like Chris Hero, Chuck Taylor was there, Ricochet, Kevin Steen,
Oni
El
Lorcan, Who-
Super
What
Dragon,
was Oni Lorcan back?
Biff Busick.
Biff Busick.
But that was later. That was like
I
2010.
know, I just love. I love
Oh yeah,
him.
yeah. You should see. Have you ever seen his match with Cash Zona from Bola?
Yes.
Holy
Oh God.
pile drives him off the top rope, man. You can't. That's crazy.
Wrestlers got to be terrified when they fight Oni Lorcan because it's like, is he gonna like?
Is he gonna grab my face and slap my
Is he
fucking?
gonna break my nose within the first minute? Because he just runs at him.
Oh yeah. It's so great. I love it.
His matches with, I'm like, I want a best of 7 series between him and Hideo Itami.
Oh
I
man.
could watch them wrestle each other.
Yeah.
Forever. Anyway, Combat Zone.
Yeah, Combat Zone. So with Combat Zone coming in, they started realizing it's basically when DJ Hyde took the book, because it was John Zandig forever, and John Zandig is like, please don't be watching because I don't want you to murder me, but he's a fucking crazy person. You know, he from what I've heard in rumors, he's like a guy who would be like on the roof of a building about to jump off with some guy, and the guy's like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, fuck you, you're going, and brings him with
New
him.
Jack.
Yeah, and like basically tries to murder a man and things like that, and it just became like it became a stigma in independent wrestling where if you
Yeah,
worked at
no.
CZW, you didn't work at like Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
and that's why they had that big like inter-promotional
The
like
invasion.
feud. Yeah, that was a big deal
When
because
fucking,
Chris Hero and Brian, I believe,
I'm
were
trying
the
to
two.
remember the name of
What is it? Describe him.
Psycho Dragon or something like
Super Dragon.
that. Super Dragon, yeah,
Yeah.
when he fucking did the double stomp on BJ Whitmer when his head
Yeah.
was in between. They laid him. He wasn't even on the ground. He was supported by 2 chairs, his legs wedged in one,
Yeah.
his head and neck wedged in the other, and then Super Dragon just did this double stomp onto his, you know, his back, but his neck, quote
Yeah.
unquote. and that was brutal to watch.
Yeah, and this was also the same
Samoa
time.
Joe was also champion during that time.
Oh hell yeah! And also it was also the same time as IWA Mid South, which I'm not as familiar with. But IWA Mid South is like Ian Ryan, Taipei Deathmatch. He's the promoter, and he's like notorious for bringing in new talent and giving them a chance. Like he would put the title on people who have no right to be a champion, and just see what happens. And a lot of wrestlers credit him as giving them their first shot, even though they know that it was a bad promotion and bad booker and things like that. Like CM Punk wrestled there, Bryan did, Chuck Taylor, Ricochet, all those guys.
I love Chuck Taylor.
I love Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor is so good. Dude, when I went to PWG this on Friday, he was in the main event. He was defending the PWG championship against Keith Lee. And dude, and the match like starts and Keith Lee's just standing there and Chuck Taylor, everybody's booing Chuck Taylor because I didn't see it, but last month he like low blowed Trent after he injured him and stuff to end the match. So he kind of went heel, but not really. And he's just like, he just grabs a microphone and he's just like, hey, why are you guys booing me? I don't understand. Why are you guys booing me? I really don't understand. They're like, you're going to cheer this guy? I heard he's going to fucking WWE, so it doesn't even matter if he wins this fucking match. And then at one point he wrestles, gets thrown out, and then talks more. And there was one point where he grabbed the microphone, he's like, you big motherfucker! And he just starts clocking him, and he's like, God, he's like on his back like a little kid fighting his older brother.
I love Chuck Taylor.
He's like, you dumb son of a bitch!
I love Chuck Taylor. That
It's
guy.
so good.
I don't know if we'll ever see. He would take the Steve Corino route.
I think he has more of a chance than anybody right now.
Man.
I think he has charisma for day. Now that he's been wrestling New Japan, like he's got a little more like notoriety and like people like are seeing him as a wrestler now. Because now he's in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor didn't book him forever.
He's been around for a very long
Oh
time.
yeah, since like I think 2003.
Long enough to have a retirement.
Yeah. Never believe anything Chuck Taylor ever says. Ever.
Anyway, so obviously one of the best matches of all time to me is also one of the most violent fucking Mankind versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and half of that wasn't even planned.
Yeah, like, that match should have been over within the first 4 or 5 minutes when Undertaker shoves Mankind through the table.
Right.
There's nothing it's just table.
Yeah. And that's why they like reinforce the roof now because he literally backdropped him and he fell through for reals.
He legitimately got knocked unconscious during that.
He like for reals got hurt, yo.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Terry Funk had to stall for him.
Yeah.
He needs a choke slam.
Yeah, tooth through his lip.
You can it's in his nose, but he's trying
I thought it went through his lip.
Yeah.
And it was just stuck. Yeah.
Lip open. He's trying to show he had a hole through his tongue.
Oh,
which is
God.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He's fucking out of it for most of the match.
Yeah.
You can see it in his eyes, but the match still continues. And then to top it all off, after he's already dislocated one shoulder, gotten a bunch of he has this huge concussion. He busted his teeth.
Yeah.
He's completely out of it. He then goes, I'm going to get thumbtacks.
Yeah, I know.
I want thumbtacks in this match.
God, I love Mick Foley
And
so
then
much.
after the match is over, after all of that blood and just, oh my God, is this guy alive? He looks at Undertaker as they're getting checked out and goes, hey, did I use thumbtacks? And Undertaker's like, Mick, look at your arm. Oh, I guess I did. I have all these thumbtacks in my arm.
Yeah, that's great.
And then and that's not even the end of the night. He has to go out and take a Stone Cold Stunner to end the pay-per-view.
Right. No, and
God
like
bless Mick Foley.
Yeah, and like violence in wrestling has always been like, it's always like there's a line, but nobody knows where the line is because it's constantly moving. And depending on where you are, like if you're in East Coast, like you can go hard.
Oh yeah.
If you're on the West Coast, it's a little more tame. It's more spots.
We're chilled out, man.
Oh, we're all like chilled, yeah.
Yeah, we cool, dude.
Hey, did you hear weed's legal now?
Yeah, man. You know where weed's not legal? Philadelphia, man. That's why ECW was so popular back in the day.
Yeah.
No, I think ECW had the line.
Okay.
I mean,
you think that's like where the line is, and anything above it is too much, and anything below it is it could be whatever.
I mean, granted, ECW was violent a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time there was enough difference because they had the Eddie Guerreros and they had the Dean Malenko matches. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they would just have a violent spot, but they weren't always like blood and guts unless it was a New Jack match.
Right.
And then that's all New Jack has
mm-hmm.
is stabbing you.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Watching his finisher is stabbing you.
I don't know. There's kind of like an adrenaline while watching death matches, especially if you're watching one from like years ago where you know the person didn't die. That's always a plus. That's always a plus. If you know the person didn't die, so you can like kind of respect that. You know, you look at someone like Masada, who's been killing it on the indies. You know, he's wrestling Wrestle Circus. He's wrestled a bunch of places, and he was trained by Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels. Yeah, and he's a fantastic wrestler on the mat and things like that. But, you know, he
Kinda
just
like
chooses...
Necro Butcher.
Yeah, well, Necro Butcher wasn't a good wrestler. He was just Necro Butcher.
He was amazing.
He was great, but he couldn't wrestle.
He has a fucking pot leaf.
Dude,
tattooed on him.
yeah. That same Tournament of Death that the Sexy Eddie like was squirting blood out of his artery, he also sliced his pec right here, and it looked like a little like vajayjay right here. It was crazy. And he wrestled another match after that. He fought Wife Beater. Great wrestling name, by the way.
Wife Beater.
Wife Beater.
What's his gimmick? Loving husband.
Deathmatch wrestler who first, I don't know if he was the first to introduce, but he was first, I think, in CZW to introduce the Weed Whacker. So he did. He also did this fucking brutal spot where he would, after they've done light tubes and everybody's backs are all slashed and they're all covered in blood, he'd take out a bag. You think it's like thumbtacks or whatever, and he pours it on the guy. It's freaking salt. He put salt on all these guys' open wounds.
You think Jeff Hardy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jeff Hardy would do really good in Combat Zone.
No, I think he would die.
I'm meaning to talk to you about.
What's up?
Do you think John Cena would do really well at PWG?
Once.
Oh.
I think once he'll be over as a heel, but people will be stoked to see him.
Here's my thing, is the more I watch John Cena, the more I can't help but just, I love him. We're watching.
Yeah.
Especially right now, because I think him not having to be the face of the company allows John Cena to do John Cena. And right now we're watching probably one of the best wrestlers in the industry right now. At least in terms of just interacting with the crowd.
Talking about John Cena?
I am. I'm doing it.
I don't want to go there.
I would.
I think as he's like slightly above average in everything.
I think he's so good at.
But I don't think he's the best at anything.
I think he's so good at connecting with a crowd and getting them to react the way he wants them to react.
Yeah.
Even when they're booing him, he knows how to do how he knows how to get them to cheer him.
Right.
I think if he went to depending on the independent promotion, like if he went to PWG, he'd kill it. If he went to New
yeah, I'm telling you, PWG would be loved to see him there. They'd love to boo him.
He wrestles Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. I love Keith Lee, man.
Keith
Lee's
Lee goes
great.
for a spirit bomb. John Cena turns it into an attitude adjustment.
Yeah. No, yeah, he picks him up. He's like,
oh, that'd be so great. Keith Lee
fantastic.
does a diet. Keith Lee does a body splash. He catches him.
Yeah. Does AA, keeps hold arm Okada style, throws him back on.
I want to see it. I want to see John Cena take on Keith Lee.
Well, Keith Lee might be going to WWE if the rumors are right.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's such a good decision.
Well, dude, like they have everything to make my fantasy faction I told you about correct. Like I always said, you put Ricochet, Leo Rush, and Keith Lee in a faction together.
I feel like Kenny Omega might not go to the WWE just
Ever?
to say he didn't do it.
I think he will.
I think he will, but I
think he will.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if he's the only wrestler who, him or the Young Bucks, are going to be the only ones who are like, no.
Young Bucks I could see never wrestling in WWE. I think they will, though.
Besides Suzuki.
I think, honestly, Daniel Bryan coming back is going to help Kenny Omega make that decision.
Agreed. Same with the Young Bucks.
I think a lot of guys who were like, we're never going to WWE are like, oh, Daniel Bryan's there, though. Because Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan, that's one of my favorite funny matches ever, is them doing the whole, like, what's your real name? It's John. John what? John Jacob. John Jacob what? John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. What? That's my name too. It's so great. It's like the funniest thing. If you have like 5 minutes on YouTube, just Google Kenny Omega Daniel Bryan.
Just Google Kenny
or
Omega.
Bryan Danielson.
Just Google Kenny Omega.
It's great.
So you went to Strong Style Evolved.
I did. I just got back about like 2 hours ago.
I am seething with jealousy right now.
It was fantastic. It was exactly what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted, but it was exactly what I wanted.
I want to get your thoughts on it because I also have thoughts.
Okay. So I showed up like 2 hours before the show started. It said doors open at 3:30, so we were waiting in line. The line wrapped around the entire pyramid.
Oh, jeez.
And then some. And we waited there for a minute. We started walking in. It wasn't like fast, but it wasn't slow. It was decent. Like they seemed like they know their stuff, so that was good. If you wanted anything, food, merch, a beer, yeah, you would be waiting in line for like hour. Everybody there was like just trying to get stuff. So yeah, so I didn't get anything cool like a shirt or anything like that. But the show itself was great. It was cool because you saw a lot of the LA Young Lions that were brought in. So like Brody King. Have you ever seen Brody King?
No.
Brody King, dude, he's a future star. I think he could be, if he doesn't stay with New Japan, I can see him going to WWE within this year. He's great. He's like 6'4", 6'5", tatted to the gills, and he's like a big old metalhead. Like he's the lead singer of like a doom metal band.
Oh, jeez.
He's brutal, and he's great. He's really, really fast for his size. You know, like every big guy is on the indies these days.
Like
really. So he was at PWG that I went to on Friday. He fought Eli Everfly, Jake Atlas, and Douglas James, who are all SoCal guys. The match, you could tell the wrestlers were nervous because there was a lot of their first times. But Brody King, he's a star, dude. He's a star. And he's one of their young lions at the LA Dojo. So it was cool seeing him doing the young lion thing where they're like holding the barricade so it doesn't move, telling the wrestlers where to go. So that was really, really interesting. First match was it was SoCal Uncensored.
Yeah, versus Roppongi
3K. Yeah. And that was awesome. Couple of mishaps here and there.
Kazarian was wasted in Impact.
Yeah, I've never been a huge Kazarian
I'm not
fan.
crazy about him, but everything I've ever seen of his is really good.
He's very clean.
I think it's just him. He's kind of like a Del Rio,
where like I don't like the guy, but I like the wrestling.
He himself is just boring.
Yeah. But yeah, you know who's a star, and I think he'll be a star in like a while. Scorpio Sky, man. Mm-hmm. I've known about Scorpio Sky for a couple years. Yeah. You know, and stuff like that, but he's really been starting to break out, like with Wrestle Circus and PCW and things like that. He's been like breaking out of the scene, and he's been Ring of Honor and with SoCal Uncensored. And he's so clean with everything he does. Like everything looks good. He does that like a springboard cutter, kind of like, you know, Johnny Gargano's like spear. Yeah. He does that with a cutter. Ooh. It's insane. It's great.
You know, Randy Orton did one thing right when he made his finisher a cutter. Yeah. Those are the best finishers.
Yes. So that was great. Roppongi 3K were over. Like really, really over. There was these two girls sitting next to me, kind of like down and to the left, dressed up like Roppongi 3K. It was great. They had like the silver pants, one had the gold pants, and things like that. It was awesome. I couldn't stop looking at them.
Yeah, their match with the Young Bucks at Wrestle Kingdom was really good.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. Because Young Bucks have really been trying to like step up their storytelling game, their psychology game, because they want to.
They're arguably the best wrestlers in the entire.
Oh
industry.
Yeah, easy.
Just the Young Bucks.
Yeah. So, yeah, that match was fine. You know, it was a 6-man. It was very spot-fast. There was a couple mess-ups. Kazarian messed up a couple times. I think he, like, missed a couple drop kicks or something.
And Daniel's got to be retiring pretty...
Yeah, maybe. And maybe not Kazarian, but maybe Daniels.
I mean, you know, if he sticks with the Kazarian's tag team, he won't have to retire for a while.
Right.
You're not going to be seeing him be, like, a main person for much longer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's been wrestling for decades.
Yeah. So... After that, so Roppongi went over. They were great. They were, like I said, people were cheering. People, if you were Asian in the ring, people loved you.
It's true.
I'm not joking. Red Shoes came out and people went batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. But yeah, and then the match after that was, I believe it was Hiroki Goto and
it was Taguchi Japan versus Chaos. Hiroki Goto and Gato versus
that's correct.
Juice Robinson
and David Finlay.
I'm not crazy about Juice Robinson.
I love him. I think he's great. I
don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't dislike him.
I like David Finlay and Juice as a team. I think that's good because it lets them both grow while like not making them look weak.
I love Finlay. So David Finlay. Yeah. I'm like, you're all right by me.
Dude, the guy next to me, so like a little bit jumping a little ahead when he attacked Jay White and he had like a street gear on. And I thought to myself, I was like, man, I didn't know Cassius Ohno was in New Japan. And the guy next to me, he was drunk as fuck. Like to the point where he was just saying whatever came to his mind and no context. But he just goes like, Chris Hero! Hey! And he just wouldn't shut up about it. So yeah, that was. But I think David Finlay has potential to be good. I think he has something. I hate his finisher. Hate it. I liked it when he was a young lion and his finisher was the European uppercut, but he did it like in a very brutal way.
I love the European uppercut.
Yeah, he did it really cool. Where, like the guy was like on the ground like a Kinshasa, and he would just run at him and like European uppercut them. That's cool. But yeah, they were good, and I believe Juice won because he's gonna challenge Goto for the never openweight title.
Do you think he wins it?
No, I don't think so.
That's my thing with Juice. I'm like, I don't see him doing that.
I can see him like in a little bit. I think he's gonna probably do something big in the G1 this year. I think he'll get like 9 or 8 points.
He's a Lance Archer type to me.
Dude, Lance Archer's great. I love Lance Archer.
Yeah. And then their match was next. It was Killer Elite Squad versus Chaos again.
My boy Chucky T.
Chucky T. I
Dude,
love
Chuck Taylor and Toriano was so damn funny because the crowd was like egging him on.
He's got Chuck Taylor as his tag team partner.
Yeah, because Chuck Taylor was playing pretty straight this match for.
Of course he would.
Yeah. And Toriano was kind of like the silly one, and Chuck was the straight man. So it was a lot of like Chuck Taylor getting his ass whooped by Killer Elite Squad, and every time he would go for like a hot tag to Toriano, Lance Archer would just scare Toriano. He'd just run away to the entrance, and then you could just see the crowd just like saying, "Go back, go back, go back," and Toriano's just like, "No, you go back. No." And then they did this part where Chuck Taylor, they threw him out. They threw the Killer Elite Squad outside, and Chuck Taylor did a Tope Con Holo.
Yeah.
And he just dives out, lands it. It's great, big spot, yay! And Toriano's like, me? You want me? So he does it. He gets ready. He runs to the ropes, comes back, immediately goes to the corner, grabs the freaking turnbuckle pad. So like he runs like he's gonna do a suicide dive. Runs, goes to the corner, grabs the turnbuckle pad. It was hilarious. It was so good.
I'm turning it around to comedy and wrestling.
Dude, comedy wrestling is great when done right.
I think maybe Santino Marella is not a great example of comedy wrestling.
No, you gotta watch Jervis Cottonbelly, Chuck Taylor, Toriano, and Kenny Omega.
They had a video back when he had the Cobra, and Jinder Mahal came out and he had a flute and he started playing it to serenade Santino.
Oh yeah.
I loved it.
That was great.
I think it's just because Great Khali was involved that I was
yeah. I don't like fun things. You know, it was great. It's
I
funny.
don't like Santino and I don't like Khali.
So that match was great. It was so fun. They lost, of course. Killer Elite Squad won because they're probably gonna fight whenever Evil gets healthy. Fight them for the titles and probably win them.
Evil.
Everything is evil.
He got knocked out.
I know. He got knocked the fuck out, man. It was bad. Yeah, and he's just like, it's over, count. And like Tiger Tori's like, no, you gotta finish.
We have rules in New
We have rules. You only win a match when you do your finisher.
Pick this giant fucking.
So you had to pick him dead weight and put him on his shoulders, and just he's so carefully like a little baby. He's like, huh, and then does it. It was great. It was great. But yeah, so I guess I think, what does he have, like an orbital bone injury? So yeah, he'll be back fine.
Evil's tough.
Yeah. So that's probably what's going to happen with that.
Then we had Bullet Club, Cody and Marty Scurll.
Okay,
taking on Gorillas of Destiny, who I love.
This match was fun because of how much everybody booed Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes
is so good.
Best heel in wrestling right now.
Yeah, where he just it was like they did the classic like everybody's cheering Marty but not Cody. So like they came out together and everybody's booing because it's Cody Rhodes' music.
It's hard to hate Marty
and
Scurll.
As soon as they're like, you know how they do the Japanese announcers like Cody Marty Scurll. So like when they say Marty Scurll, everybody's like, yeah, Marty Scurll. And then like Cody. It's like boom. And they drowned him out. They did the classic like NWA style promo where he tries to say something, everybody's booing before he could say anything. He's just like, and then they boo. You know, they're kind of doing that with Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano.
Cody dyeing his hair blonde, I think it's the best thing Cody
Dude,
Rhodes.
I didn't know I wanted that until it happened. I
Oh,
was like,
once
oh
it
man, that
happened, it
fits
was-
so well.
And he instantly became like the best villain in professional
Yeah.
wrestling. He is so good.
Yeah, and like if you watch Being the Elite, you know that he's like the best villain.
I just
It's
love-
so great.
I love it. I love it so much. He's
What's
just-
this?
It's so over the top and dumb. It was great, and then somehow that edits this entire video.
Yeah, like Nick's just like, there's something up with this video. And Matt's like, no, that's what he said.
Nothing's up with this video.
Nothing.
Little bitches.
Little bitches. It was great.
Why didn't Kenny Omega just email it to, like, why didn't he just send it to their phone?
Yeah, I know, right? No, but that doesn't make sense.
That's too many questions. It's
That
too
makes
many
way
questions.
too much sense. But yeah, that match was it was all right. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like the best match I've ever seen. It was very fun.
Gorillas of Destiny aren't going to carry Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes to a 6-star match.
Yeah, well, the Gorillas are freaking over. I didn't
I
realize
love 'em.
I didn't realize how like popular they were until I went to this thing, man.
I think this Kenny Omega Cody stuff has been great for Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah,
Because it's like, what are you talking about?
yeah,
We're-
exactly.
There's no problem in Bullet Club. We're Bullet Club.
Yeah, they're like, what are you talking? Well, that's your guys' thing.
Yeah,
we're
Bullet-
over here. We're Team
I
Tongan.
love that part of Bullet Club
Yeah,
where it's basically like you have the elite fighting amongst themselves and the original
Yeah.
Bullet Club going, we're gonna go to WWE after this anyway.
yeah,
So-
dude. I really they hinted at that earlier.
I think so.
I think they're going.
Oh, and then I feel like it's just gonna become Bullet Club.
No, because they own the rights.
They'll
New
still-
Japan owns
so
the
You
rights.
think it'll still be Balor Club?
It'll be Balor Club because that's an easy fix.
I think that's the best thing you can do
Yeah.
for Finn Balor.
Yeah, it makes him the star, which he always kind of was a Bullet Club, and
Mhm.
you know,
And
but-
then you have AJ Styles who comes.
AJ Styles doesn't need to be in the Balor Club.
He doesn't need to be involved in
He
the Balor
doesn't
Club, but
not to be.
you can put him in a storyline.
Yeah,
with
of
them.
course, but like you don't need to like put him in the Balor Club. I say he could be a good like rival. He could be a perfect if they ever do bring in Kenny and Young Bucks to be a good spoil to them. So it's like the OGs versus the new Gs, you know?
I just don't. If that moment ever happens in WWE where we have Bullet Club and the Elite and AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan can wrestle, all I need to hear is da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I am CM Punk. I am CM Punk. I'm straight edge as you can see, but my tattoos.
Openly tear. Just openly crying. Just openly crying.
Yeah, yeah.
Just CM Punk's back. Oh
Oh,
god.
just, yeah,
But
but
it'll never happen.
no, it won't.
It might.
No, he won't wrestle in WWE ever again. I think he'll come back maybe as like a Hall of Fame thing,
That's what I'm thinking.
but I don't think he'll ever wrestle in WWE again
gonna
out of spite. I really think out of
Yeah,
spite.
You know what? You guys can put me in the Hall of Fame.
I'm pretty sure Triple H would be like, "Yeah, sure, come back. I don't care." You know, like who gives a
Whatever.
shit?
Whatever.
Water on the bridge, man. You know. And
Funny.
yeah. He's like, ugh. But CM Punk is like a very proud guy, and so I don't think he'll ever do
I think
it.
he'll go to All In. I think Cody.
You think he's gonna show up?
I think CM Punk will be at All In. I think
It's the match, man. It's the only match they can do that would like
I think he likes.
make buzz.
He likes Cody.
Yeah.
He loves the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
It's in Chicago.
Yep.
I don't think he hates wrestling.
I think he hates wrestling.
I think he hates.
I think he literally hates wrestling now. I think he was so bitter taste in his mouth that he's just like, I don't want to.
A year ago, I would have agreed with you, but I think CM Punk, enough time has passed to where, because he always said
It depends on how well his fight
even,
goes.
Even with WWE returns, he said never say never, but he also if hey, are you interested in returning? He's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, never say never.
Right.
Other than that podcast, he hasn't really trashed them since. He just gave his honest feelings, and it got him sued. Next up, we have Los
Ingobernables de Japón.
versus Taguchi Japan. So we have Tetsuya Naito,
Yep.
Sonata,
Yep.
Bushi,
Yep. Takahashi.
Takahashi, and then we have Tanahashi, Kushida, and Taguchi, and Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee, dude. That guy's a star.
Yeah.
I really think. I think probably because he's in CMLL, he'll never be like a star unless he leaves there. But he can be huge.
Well, CMLL is kind of the luchador offshoot of New Japan.
They just have a relationship like Ring of Honor has a relationship with New Japan. It's the same thing just with Mexico.
Yeah.
It's their territories they could send wrestlers to do excursions on. So like Noah has AAA, New Japan has CMLL.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that match was a lot of fun. If you've ever seen any Taguchi Japan matches, it's pretty much that. But I will say, dude, Los Ingobernables, it was just I was stoked to just see
love
them. And everybody was going
Can't
rowdy.
pronounce their name, but I love them.
Yeah, just think of like ungovernable, ingobernable.
Ingobernable.
Yeah, like things
There
like
we go.
Gober, like Gober.
Ingobernable.
Yeah.
There we go.
De
Okay.
Japon.
De Japon.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they're like super over because like of course everybody loves Naito. Like nobody hates Naito.
Mm-hmm.
And so seeing all of them together and it's fun because they seem like they have like a brotherly bond now. Like when they first got together, it was kind of just like a bunch of misfits coming together, kind of. But now that they're like a team,
mob.
nowadays they're more like the greasers from the Outsiders. You know, like they're just like we're just a bunch of hoodlums doing hoodlum things. I like to do hood rat shit with my friends, you know, and that's what it seemed like.
Bar. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I didn't pay for nothing. Yeah. But yeah, and that's what it seems like. So like they'll like make fun of each other and they do like every match they do the fist up like
I
they're
love how New Japan is so it's just anime.
Oh, well, it's Japan.
I
Yeah.
know, but I love it. Like that's what I've discovered is my favorite type of wrestling is anime.
Yeah.
Anime storylines make wrestling better.
Yeah. So yeah, and it was awesome because like, you know, the match was, you know, there's nothing special to it. It was great to watch. Oh, but there was like a good 3-minute spot where like Takahashi and Dragon Lee were just chopping the fuck out of each other. And then
That's the other reason I love New
it's
Japan.
because it's funny because Takahashi has like a rivalry with Kushida and Dragon Lee. So they touched on both of those in this match. They also so the match was getting ready to start and you see it's Tanahashi over in the corner getting ready for who's going to be in next. And then Naito just like starts stepping out, and then he gets right in the ring, and the crowd goes fucking ballistic.
I love Naito.
Ballistic.
Naito, he's kind of he's. I'm sad that Jericho match is probably not going to happen.
I think it will. I think it's going to happen at Dominion.
You sure?
I think that's what it's going to be because I don't think Naito has a match ready. So I don't think he has a match scheduled for that. So I think he's going to fight him there.
Man, to think you were going to see
Or
Rey
G1, the G1 special in USA,
Yeah.
San Francisco.
To think you were going to see Rey Mysterio.
He came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that match is going to happen at
Yeah.
some point.
So yeah, Rey Mysterio, he came out. Because like nobody thought he was gonna show up. They thought he was just gonna no show. And all of a sudden there was like a little lull after the Naito match, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Booyaka, booyaka!"
619.
Yeah, but it was like the super indie version of it where he's like, "Booyaka, booyaka, 619." Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't remember
Who's
the
that
theme.
popping up the sky?
No.
R-E-Y,
It was a totally different
Mysterio.
song, but it
That's
did
what
say
I want.
"Booyaka."
Put your mask on.
Yeah. So he comes out and he does the like, "Yo, man, I you guys are making it hard for me.
Family.
You know, I
Mi
promise you though.
familia.
I promise you, this is on my bucket list. I will step
Eddie.
in the ring in New Japan."
It's pretty good, Rey Mysterio.
Is it?
That's pretty.
This is my first time I've ever tried it.
It's got to be a
Yeah.
little bit, you know. It's
Yeah.
pretty-
But yeah, so he's like, "Yeah, man, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna
no,
keep
it was
going."
good. It was very.
I lost it, so it's
No,
fine.
it was
But
great.
yeah, so he's like, "I will wrestle in New Japan. I will." So he's probably gonna wrestle at the G1 special in USA, or they're gonna push it to something like Dominion again.
Yeah.
And so then Jushin Thunder Liger comes over, huge pop.
I
Everybody
love
loves.
Jushin- I love. Jushin
Everybody
Thunder
loves
Liger.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
Oh yeah.
He was super awesome to meet when I met him at PWG Bola 2016.
Mhm.
He was super awesome to meet. He was just like, "Oh, thank you, you know, buy a T-shirt,"
You're
and it was
literally
great.
a legend.
Yeah, I was just like,
Jushin Thunder Liger.
"Oh, thank God he had translators, so it wasn't awkward," you know, because I had that social anxiety. I'm like, "Hey, hey," but I just had to talk to the translator. He's like, "Oh, thank you," and I gave him the money, and he just gave me the T-shirt. I took a photo. It's awesome. And so he's over as like Rover, you know. Will Ospreay comes over. I have my feelings on Will Ospreay, but
What are your feelings on Will Ospreay?
I think he's a great wrestler. I do not think he can sell me a pencil.
Yeah,
I think he's really, really bad at selling. And it's not that he doesn't try, he just doesn't know what selling is.
I think he's in a position right now where it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But if he ever hopes to get into like a Kenny Omega AJ Styles.
It's always like
in a Ricochet type of world.
Well, it's like the joke I always tell you. I'm like, this is Ricochet getting pinched. Pinch me. Oh! You know, like he's like, it's not realistic.
I fucking love Ricochet. I don't care.
No, I'm saying that's Will Ospreay.
Oh, that's Will Ospreay.
Yeah. Ricochet can sell. Ricochet can sell his
Ricochet's
ass off.
amazing.
He can sell his ass off. Watch his match with like Chris Hero and things like that.
I
He
love
can
that
sell.
match he has with Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
Mostly because Chuck Taylor's like,
I was there.
Do some of your high diving shit now, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I was there. I went to that All-Star weekend.
I love Chuck Taylor because he'll call a wrestler a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite word.
Go back to 205, motherfucker. It's just
I
like,
love it.
it's so great. Or he said, have fun at 205, motherfucker.
I think this is like the most color circuit heard the word motherfucker.
Oh, well, good luck with that. I'm sorry.
Good thing we're on
I
Twitch.
mean, it
Motherfucker.
slips. But yeah, so, yeah, I think Will Ospreay needs to get better at selling. He can do all the moves. He's really entertaining to watch. His moveset is spectacular.
He's such a regular
He just can't
guy.
sell very well.
He's a very regular
Yeah.
guy.
Because I also saw him wrestle at PWG the 2 nights before, and he wrestled Adam Brooks from Australia.
Mm.
They've been apparently having a buttload of great matches in the UK, like for Progress or Rev Pro and things like that. So PWG booked that match, and it lived up to the hype. It was fantastic. He was selling great and everything. And Adam Brooks is going to be
Was Bae Priestley there?
No, I didn't see her at least.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. So the match was great, and then after the match, Will Ospreay grabs the microphone, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, Jushin Thunder," like, doing the classic babyface thing. But then he goes to Rey Mysterio, and he's just like, "I just want to be known. You can love me, you can cheer me, you can boo me, but I am nobody's fucking replacement." And he's all like, "I am the IWGP Junior Champion." And everybody just starts going nuts. Yeah. And he's all like, "And I want to challenge you, Rey Mysterio." And everybody goes batshit crazy.
Match.
Then and Rey Mysterio gets in the ring to go to shake his hand. Marty Scurll shows up behind him and attacks him with the umbrella.
Hell yeah.
And Rey Mysterio's like, "What?" And he takes off Rey Mysterio's mask. And the young boy takes off his shirt, throws it on Rey Mysterio's face so you don't see the face. And Marty Scurll puts the mask on his head. And he's just like, crazy Marty Scurll. Marty Scurll's the best.
He has the, like, outside. I think the problem is his gimmick is so good you can't boo him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. His whole thing is like, I don't care if I'm a villain. I do villainous things. If you cheer me or boo me, that's more of a statement on you, is what he said in an interview with Stone Cold.
He's got such a good look when he's got the beard and the ponytail.
Dude, have you ever seen him in 2015, where he was a lot more jacked?
And he didn't have
and
the
he
beard.
Had a full beard. He had like more of a beard, like more like mine.
I remember like when he was teaming with Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh yeah, with Leaders New School, and he was Party Marty. Yeah, I'm talking about like this was like he just figured out what the villain character was. Mm-hmm. It just hasn't brought it to the mainstream yet.
Yeah.
It was his first. It was Bola 2015, and he was wrestling Sammy Callahan. I could be wrong. About that. But he was wrestling someone, and he was just jacked, dude.
I love Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
He's got the chicken wing as his finisher is genius.
Yeah.
He's probably the most complete package on the independent.
He's a plug and play
next to Cody.
Yeah, he's a plug and play.
Cody is like, if Cody can figure out how to put on good,
better matches
on his own,
yeah,
Cody will be unstoppable. I think that's the only thing that's preventing him from going back to the WWE right now.
Yeah,
besides this desire to change the wrestling.
I think he just wants to prove that it could be done.
Yeah.
So that people can use more leverage when they're going for contracts.
I agree.
So like Neville, probably looked at Cody Rhodes and was like, "What do you think?" Cody's like, "Come on, man.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Be a part of Bowl Club, Neville
right?
Club.
Neville Club. Yeah. Flight Club.
Pot Club.
Gravity Club.
You'd have to be
no Gravity Club. I mean,
no Gravity Club.
The Forgotten Gravity.
Next up, we had Suzuki Gun versus Chaos. Minoru Suzuki, who is the scariest looking man in the world.
Love Suzuki. He's probably my favorite, like, not Gaijin wrestler.
Just looks fucking terrifying.
On New Japan. Dude, that match was fantastic.
Zack Sabre Jr., arguably the greatest technical wrestler alive today.
I think he is. I think he's beaten Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan has said so.
Yeah, I think he has. Because he actually is a technical wrestler, where Daniel Bryan's more of a all-around but focusing on technical.
Well, he used to be technical, but I think Daniel Bryan, in order to make it in the WWE, changed up his style a lot.
So Zack Sabre Jr. is fantastic, and this match was killer.
Taking on Ishii, who is awesome.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite wrestlers,
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada,
Okada.
who's amazing.
Rainmaker.
If you've never seen Okada,
Uh-huh.
you need to. Okada is great.
He's fantastic. He's probably the best wrestler in the world right
He
now.
is, to me, the best wrestler.
Yeah. It's a toss-up between him, Kenny, and AJ.
Oh, I love. Well,
Probably.
I'm not gonna lie. It makes me happy that a WWE wrestler is in talks. For,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah. I'd say like them, and I'd say maybe like, I don't know, like Ricochet's probably up there if that's your thing. If
Johnny
you're
Gargano.
Gargano's probably the best underdog story. I don't know if he's the best wrestler. He's a good seller. He's probably the
point.
best seller in the
Adam
business.
Cole.
Adam Cole?
Adam Cole, I think, should be in the conversation.
Adam, did you see that match on NXT with him and Hero
Oh yeah.
or Ono?
Cassius Ohno.
Oh man,
Cassius Ohno's so under. He'll forever be one of the most.
I think he's
underrated.
just gonna be a trainer, and I think he's happy with that.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna wrestle for a few years, get a little notoriety, let it get through.
get a WrestleMania moment.
He'll probably be in a Royal Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
as a special
I
surprise.
think he'll get a WrestleMania moment.
Maybe.
Someone's gonna get hit. He could be in the Andre the Bat. He could be in the.
Yeah,
Andre.
I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I think I think they brought him in to be a trainer, because if you think about it, like Sarah Del Rey, is that her name?
Yeah, Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah. She's
so great.
She used to be teammates with Chris Hero.
Yeah.
And
She
Claudio
was- she-
Castagnoli.
For a while, she was women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a part. I told
Right.
Jill we wouldn't talk about women's wrestling because she loves Glow. She
The
works,
show Glow? Or the actual
she
original
wants
Glow,
to-
1980s Glow?
It is my belief she wants to start an Albuquerque-based Glow,
Okay.
and I'm kind of like, well, if you need writers,
Bookers.
bookers, people
would
who
be
know what
killer.
they're talking about.
Yeah.
Jill.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, I think what were we talking about?
We're talking about. Well, we're talking.
This
about
is
strong-
professional
We're
people.
talking about strong style evolved, but right now we're talking about who.
Oh, the
who's-
tag match.
Who's
Tag match.
arguably the best wrestlers?
Yeah, like if you're talking about favorite wrestlers, it's a different discussion than best, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I think,
Because my favorite wrestler, I wouldn't put in conversation with the best wrestler.
oh no, well mine could be, but I wouldn't make that
Not
argument.
mine. Mine's Mick Foley.
Oh, I'm talking about current. Sorry.
Oh well, Daniel Bryan.
All right, cheaper. It's Tommy End, dude. Aleister Black.
Oh,
Aleister
okay.
Black is my favorite wrestler going right now, dude.
So
I-
tell me about because we're getting way
Yeah.
off
Right.
the
Right.
rails. We talked
So,
about Zack Sabre Jr.
Match
and
was
the-
great. It was a lot of shit talking from Zack Sabre Jr. and a lot of hard hits from Ishii. There was actually this one spot where Suzuki and Ishii got in the ring together, and these guys like beat the hell out of each other. It was one of those things where like the crowd went silent, so it was just like shh, and you just hear of them hitting each other with elbows, and it was awesome. It echoed through this building, and this is like a basketball court
How many
essentially.
people do you think were there?
It's 5,000.
5,000.
5,000 people. The one that they're doing at the Cow Palace in July is going to be 11,000 or 15,000.
They can sell that out. I think All In can do 10,000.
Oh, yeah. You just put up New Japan on the title.
And
And
put
it's
CM
like,
Punk.
New Japan's All In.
Just CM Punk. Say you'll be there.
Yeah.
You don't even actually have to show up.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. And so it was a lot of shit talking from Zack Sabre Jr. The match was good. There's a lot of Zack Sabre, like, kicking people's ass on the outside. He was kicking Okada's ass on the outside a lot. And then
He might win the United States Heavyweight Championship.
I honestly, what I think they're doing is they're going to build to Zack versus Suzuki.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
And he's going to win the Intercontinental title.
Okay.
That's what I think they're going to do. I think Suzuki's going to hold on to that title till Wrestle Kingdom, and Zack's going to face him. With like, it's not going to be like, I hate you, face you. It's going to be like,
I can beat you.
I can beat you.
And those are my favorite matches.
And I wouldn't even be surprised. I would love them to do like Suzuki, because he's getting pretty up there. He's not going to be able to wrestle very much anymore. I mean, he looks great. He wrestles great. So I don't know.
His style, I mean.
Yeah.
As long
I wouldn't
as-
be surprised if Zack Sabre wins and then it becomes like Sabre Goon.
Do you think Shibata will ever come back?
He said he's not retired.
I know.
At the dojo show on Saturday, which I didn't get tickets to, but he did an interview and they said like, so what's your plan? He's like, I'm not retired. I will be back. Just don't know when. So he could be doing that. I think if he does, it'll probably be for like one more match and call it a retirement.
just no headbutts.
Yeah, like maybe like I don't know a lot about Shibata, truthfully. I know that maybe put a match in him and go Okada again because they came up in the business together. That would make sense. Or put him against I forgot the guy's name, but the MMA guy that's there.
He hit Shibata. He hit Okada so hard it hurt him more than it hurt Okada.
I'm saying, like, going back to like what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, is like where wrestling going too far. He literally ended his own career by headbutting a guy.
Yeah, he
Like, it's insane.
he headbutt. So what happens is he headbutts Okada, and then his own head is bleeding.
Yeah, well, he's done that spot many times with the blood and everything. Like, he's
his
done
brain
it.
hemorrhaged.
But he did it so hard that his brain had a hemorrhage, like you said. And they just kind of like, he was like, I don't know if he was paralyzed, but I think he was in a coma or something.
It was
It was
serious.
really, really bad.
That's why they had to have him come out for that one pay-per-view.
It was
just to
Dominion.
Go, yeah, for him to just go, I'm alive. And
Don't
then
worry,
get
guys,
the
I'm
fuck
not
out of
dead.
there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Jay White against Hangman Page.
Probably second best match of the show.
That's amazing.
Yeah, especially for guys who gives a
Especially
shit.
for Hangman Page.
Dude, Hangman Page is going to be a star. I guarantee it, dude.
I think
he's going to have his little time in New Japan and Ring of Honor. He'll go to WWE, I think, and I don't think he'll be a huge star, but I think he'll be a solid mid-carder and, like, kill it.
Undisputed Era.
Maybe, I don't know about that. But I think he's good because he's got, with the Hangman gimmick, it fits him.
Mm-hmm.
And just bring that gimmick and don't call him Hangman. Like, just call him, like, Adam Page or
they'll call him.
or
he'll
Paige Adams or something
No,
like that,
because Adam, I think Triple H taking over NXT is good because he's not. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are some of the last people we're going to see who are.
But then you think about, like, Oni Lorcan had to change his name.
Yeah.
Because he was Biff Busick.
That maybe might not have been a Triple H call. I'm sure someone, if they'd been like, hey, Triple H, we're going to call Biff Busick Oni Lorcan. Who the fuck names
Yeah.
Who names someone Oni?
I think it's by how popular the wrestler is coming in. And I don't think Hangman has that popularity like a Roderick Strong or a Ricochet.
Disagree. I would disagree.
I'd say if you go up to a wrestling fan and say, do you know who Ricochet is? They're more likely to say yes than Adam Page.
Well, I mean, if they're a wrestling fan, they're probably going to know who Adam Page is.
Yeah. So, no, that match was great. It was very, they had this sweet, like, video package before showing about how, like, he never gets his moment. Adam Page, Adam Page never gets his moment.
And Jay White's really good.
He's good. I think he's missing something. I don't know what it is, and I can't tell you what it is.
You think they put the title on him too quickly?
No. I think I know where they're going with it. I think he's going to be, you know how, like, when he came out, he said, like, if I win this title, it's going to destroy Bullet Club. I think his real plan is to destroy Chaos from the inside.
Join Bullet Club?
So I think he's going to, like, challenge. That's why I don't think Juice is going to win the Never Openweight, because I think Jay's going to win it when he loses the U.S. title to someone. Okay. I don't know who, but he'll lose it to someone. Challenge Goto for it, and people are like, well, he's your own stablemate. He's like, Chaos, ooh, you know, whatever. And
can he do ooh?
He does the little, he does the like this, like Shinsuke Nakamura.
I want a wrestling promotion where it's not bad promos, it's just half-hearted.
Ooh,
I don't like you.
You're dumb. You're stupid.
I'm gonna take that title from you.
Or not. I don't know. Whatever.
It's bar wrestling.
But yeah, dude, I love bar wrestling.
I do
but so yeah, it was just it was storytelling. The match was a lot of good spots. Like my dad, who I went with this, he thought they messed up the spot where it seemed, you know how he does that like flip over the rope clothesline Hangman?
Yeah.
Yeah. He kept hitting him and he kept walking out to the center, then walking back, and he just goes, oh, and he hits him again, and the guy goes back and he comes back. And my dad, who's not like smart to a lot of this stuff, he was just like, yeah, it's probably messed up or whatever. And I was like, no, I think the story was that Jay White is smart enough to know that he can't be in that position to get boned by that clothesline.
Yeah.
So, and then there was a sixth spot where he like Jay White German suplex Hangman Page over like the top rope to the floor. It was sick. And he like hit it looked like his head hit, but it was like his shoulder, and it looked really great. But the match was good. Like
they gave it a ton of time.
Ton of time. Well, it was the only title match. It was the only title match.
I know, but I'm like, it's amazing that they're giving Hangman Page 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Hangman Page, like I said, he's fantastic.
Of all members of Bullet Club.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's got good packaging. I think the packaging that New Japan put him with, because the Hangman was all New Japan. Mm-hmm. The whole Hangman gimmick.
I think being the Elite is
it made him over, but I think the packaging is all New Japan.
I love that video of one of the last Being the Elites where he's talking to Joey Ryan's dick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's you're just a penis pretender. I'll expose you.
I loved it. Joey Ryan is the best thing. He will never go to the WWE.
Oh, no.
But he's the best thing going in professional wrestling.
Oh, dude, it's funny. Like, but you talk about how much you love Jim Cornette, and you agree with a lot of what he says.
Again, there are certain things I don't agree with Jim Cornette.
And that's one?
That's one. But, like, his ideas on how you book a wrestling television show,
yeah,
that's the kind of stuff I agree with.
Okay.
His opinions on how
what is wrestling?
All of Vince Russo's success in the Attitude Era is, yeah, you had Vince McMahon who'd been doing wrestling
that
for
makes sense.
decades, and you happen to have the two biggest stars the industry's ever seen, and somehow you're able to make magic out of those. Look at you, Vince Russo.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I guess that's fair enough.
Again, I don't think Jim Cornette's opinion on Kevin Owens is right. I don't think his opinion on El Generico was right.
No.
I think his opinions on
Will Ospreay and Ricochet.
There are a lot of things I do disagree with Jim Cornette, but I think as far as like what wrestling is, Jim Cornette has it. Like Jim Cornette knows.
You think he's right?
I think so.
I disagree. I think wrestling, first and foremost, should be fun, and the cat's out of the bag. Everybody knows it's not real.
I know.
So,
wrestling's fake.
It's not fake.
Oh, you're right.
But it's not real.
It's not real. It's this thing.
It's a thing. It's wrestling.
It's professional wrestling.
But it's out of the bag, so everybody knows. So these guys who are doing like comedy matches, like Chuck Taylor doing the grenade, that was a big problem. So I don't know. It's crazy.
The Invisible Man.
It's the Invisible Man.
I remember you warning me about the Invisible Man.
Oh, it's so good.
And then when they did that stuff, I was like, I love every.
It's so good.
Oh, God, Veda Scott German suplexes herself.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
It's so funny, man.
But anyway,
in the main event, of course, everybody's talking about it.
Almost 40 minutes.
It was originally supposed to be a 30-minute time limit, and they changed it last minute to 60.
Oh man!
So they gave them extra time.
Golden Lovers take on the best tag team in the world.
Yep.
The Young Bucks.
Yep. Even though they lost.
Undeniably the best tag team in the world.
Even though they lost.
Well, wrestling, it's predetermined.
What?
Fake, if you will.
What?
They were predetermined.
Hurt.
The Young Bucks were predetermined to lose.
Okay. But, yeah, the match was great.
In an amazing, almost 40-minute match.
Yeah. The match is great. Go watch it. I don't think I need to really go over it too much.
These people know each other like the back of their hands.
Yeah.
And they know how to put on a good match with just about anybody.
Yeah, like the beginning was a little rough for Kota Ibushi. He missed like 2 spots.
That dude throws himself.
Dude.
Kota Ibushi is the most committed wrestler.
Yeah. So like they were supposed to do like the cross slash, which is like 2 golden star like moonsaults off the top. And Kenny hits it perfectly because he's Kenny Omega. But Kota Ibushi like just straight like leaps it. Like he misses it completely. Like he just straight up like whoop, and then does that. He catches himself and lands on the floor kind of awkward.
Well,
Gets up on the.
I'm a high flyer.
Yeah.
But you still gotta hit the move. No, you gotta fly high.
Yeah. So then he gets on the apron and does a moonsault from there, and like because of the bad timing, like Nick catches him all awkward. So it just looks like a big old goof. So there, like people were like, "Oh no, is this match gonna suck?" Boy, were we wrong, because they came back, and just like told the best story. So like, you know how like in wrestling they always set up a table, and they try to make you forget about the table. So when the table happens, it's a surprise.
They did that in Sanity versus
right.
Authors of Pain match.
Yeah, and Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, same thing. So they do that. They make it obvious. They're like, first of all, where the hell's my Japanese tables? They brought in freaking American tables. I was like, what the hell?
I want easily breakable.
No, hard tables, like made out of oak
that
they have in Japan. I want it.
Well, they want the table to break?
Yeah. So they brought out the table. They were like hinting at it the whole time, and then they do a couple of spots where like Matt looks like he's about to do it and then gets stopped. Oh, and yeah, there was one where Kenny Omega is about to do the one-winged angel through the table that's been there for like the whole match. Everybody's waiting for it. He's about to do the one-winged angel, and then Nick starts punching him in the head. Kota Ibushi comes out from behind, straight leaps to the top rope, grabs him, and German suplexes him from Kenny's shoulders. It was insane.
Kota Ibushi.
So yeah, the table doesn't break there. They do it where like in the Matt Jackson's like selling his back like crazy, and it's cool because like the beginning of the match, it's like Kenny Omega's like, don't step on his back, it hurts, and he's my friend, and by the end of it, they're just murdering each other. Like, I think Matt Jackson's whipping him with his belt, his back brace that he had. And it's like, these are friends, and they're beating the hell out of it. And that's kind of the story going through.
It's three of the best storytellers in the business, and Kota Ibushi's really good too.
He's probably good at storytelling. It's just like, I don't know, like, he is good at storytelling because I've seen it, but like, it's hard to like gauge when you don't speak the language. So you don't know like what's going on really. But
I mean, the Young Bucks can tell. The Young Bucks could wrestle
anybody.
Fucking Great Khali to a good match.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I hate
but yeah, so they set up this table. They finally go through it when Matt Jackson's just so angry because his back hurts, and they do the more bang for your buck. And he does, like he does the spin over, and then he does the 450, and he jumps up to do the moonsault, turns and just jumps on Kenny with elbow drop through it, and it was brutal because it was like really close to the barricade. The barricade and the ring were pretty close together, so it just looked more impactful. Brutal. The reason why I bring this up is because they did it again. They fooled everybody. So there was a point where Matt Jackson's like getting ready for like some move, like a springboard something, and Kota Ibushi grabs him, power bombs him through the announcer table that nobody thought they would use, and it was just like a shocking thing because like I didn't even think that table was usable, and then he just power bombs him right through it, and it was crazy. Yeah. And then one of the best parts of the match, me personally, this was the best part of the match. Kenny Omega starts getting up Matt Jackson for the One-Winged Angel. He goes up to do it, and he just can't do it. He's just like, this is my friend. I don't want to do it. And he goes that. And Matt Jackson just screams at him, just do it. Just do it. He picks up his hand and puts it on his own neck. He says, just do it. Does it. Boom. Does it. 1, 2. Nick Jackson breaks it up. It was like a perfect ending, and they broke it up, so the match keeps going. And it was insane. And the ending of the match, they had Kenny Omega. He's about to do the V trigger. And he doesn't want to do it. He's kind of going. He's like, hey, these are my friends. And then Kota Ibushi just grabs him, grabs his arm, makes him do the fist, goes, now. And he just makes him go do the V trigger. And they finished it with the golden trigger. And the match is great. The Young Bucks tried to steal their 450, the tandem 450. Never really got done. So, but that was it was a great match. Probably the best match I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, and you need to check it out. It's a really great match.
Yeah.
What do you think happens with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks? Because they're doing this really, I mean, it's kind of it's shockingly, I won't say predictable, but basic storyline.
It's old school storytelling.
Yeah.
Old school WWE,
and,
or not WWE,
and, I mean,
wrestling.
I love Cody's part in it.
Yeah. So I've always said, like, I feel like the story of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi is anime. Like you were saying earlier. It's a shonen anime where you have the good guy like Naruto and Sasuke. And that's Kota and Omega. So they have like the good one and the bad one. And then they have to team up against a greater foe. And that's Cody. So I feel like that's where they're going right now. And I think they're going to do a new split-off faction, a Bullet Club. Kind of like, because like Bullet Club's like a homage to NWO.
Yeah.
So what's a better homage than doing like basically a wolf pack?
But I don't think
it won't be wolf pack. It was just saying like the idea of there's two of the same faction.
Yeah. I mean, here's my theory. I think because we both. I mean, it seems like Guerrillas of Destiny are WWE bound.
It seems like it. I don't know if they are, but it seems like it.
I mean, Tama Tonga seems like the type of person who just does not give a fuck.
Right.
Like, if he never wrestled for the WWE, I don't even think Tama Tonga would like interview, like, unless someone asked him the question.
Yeah.
And even then he'd be like, who cares?
Yeah. No, what I think they're going to do is I think they're going to have Kenny Omega start up like maybe just another faction. And it's going to be, because I think they're going to do the split up because Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson are on opposite sides of this. Like, Nick Jackson is Team Caddy and Matt Jackson's team Cody.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's leading to them facing each other at All In. I think that's one of the big matches at All In is going to be Matt Jackson versus Nick Jackson.
Yeah, but
I think that's what they're doing.
I don't think. I mean, they're not going to split up.
No. It'll be more of like, let's just get it out of our systems. Then they hug at the end. They're like, this is my brother. I love him. We're the best damn tag team in the world.
Tag team, but they're two of the best wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing. That's why to have the matches. Like, let's show why we, as the Young Bucks, are the best thing in professional wrestling.
Yeah. So what I think is Cody's going to start showing his true colors and start getting the elite away from him. So I think it's going to be basically the Elite. It might be the Elite versus
Yeah.
Bullet Club, essentially. And Cody's going to recruit all the OG guys. But I don't think they're going to be fully in on it, but Cody thinks they are. And it's going to lead to like maybe a match at Wrestle Kingdom where it's going to be like Kenny, the Elite, and Coda. Or like Young Bucks, Kenny, Marty, Hangman versus like Cody, Tama,
And then
Tangaloa.
Marty. No, we've talked because my
Yeah,
theory
yeah.
is Marty at first is on the Elite, and then he turns to join Bullet Club
Yeah.
because he's the villain.
Right, that makes sense. But what I think they're going to do, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I think then
So
it's
I don't. Yeah.
yeah. So the day after New Beginnings, they're probably gonna be like Cody Rhodes is like, Bullet Club is fine, it's mine, and all that stuff, and then they're all gonna turn on him because Kenny's gonna win that match.
Yeah.
He's gonna beat Cody clean, and it's gonna be one of those things where they all just kind of like look at Cody and they're just gonna kick him out and like myrtleize him. Myrtleize him.
All right, so that was Strong Style Evolved.
Yeah.
You need to check it out. I mean,
It's
New
great.
Japan Pro Wrestling is great. Next up, we're going to be talking about, because we don't know if we're going to be doing another sit-down and pile drive by the time WrestleMania happens because it's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, the biggest event in professional.
What's the song they always play? It's like, and it says like 28 days.
I remember, because I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, because I'm
Yeah, yeah.
terrible. It's usually by Pitbull, and it's no good. But so we want to get our WrestleMania 34 predictions out of the way, just in case we're not doing another sit down pile drive before
kidding.
WrestleMania. First off, this is shaping up to be a fucking great WrestleMania.
On paper, it could be probably the best WrestleMania
This
since
is
30.
it's kind of like WrestleMania 31. I remember a lot of people being real negative about WrestleMania 31, and I was
Yeah.
like, look at the card, guys.
Yeah.
This is a great WrestleMania you have
There was
here.
just no build-up because weren't a lot of people like getting injured around that time, or was that the year after?
That was the year after.
The year
No,
that I went, of
WrestleMania
course.
31 was the build up where Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are
Oh yeah,
my title.
mine,
Terrible.
mine.
But other than that, I thought and it ends with Seth
Yeah, yeah.
Rollins walking out. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
so we want to get our WrestleMania 34 predictions out of the way. It's going to be some great stuff.
Yeah.
First off, who do you think is going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and why? First off,
You go first because I had it and I lost it.
when Cesaro won the first one, didn't it feel like that was a big deal?
Yeah,
I think them not doing anything with him has soured the Andre the Giant Battle Royal to the point where I don't really care who wins.
right.
So I'm just going to say Cassius Ohno
All right.
so he can have that WrestleMania moment.
I'm going to say Dolph Ziggler.
Ugh.
I think he'll win it. I think it's a little bit of a because the rumor is that he's got a good deal. I think it's a good way to make him feel good.
Yeah.
I think he'll win. It's not my best choice, and I thought I had a better choice, but I can't think of who it would be.
I was on Facebook today, and they had a hire, fire, and return.
Uh-huh.
And hire, it was like Kenny Omega, Okada, and I think I can't remember who else. But then in the fire, it was like Corbin, Strowman, who I was like, why the hell would you put Strowman on this? And Ziggler. And immediately, like, I was like, if you put anybody other than Ziggler on the fire, like, why? Corbin does great. I'm not a Ziggler guy.
Yeah.
I used to. I wanted to like Dolph Ziggler, but it's just every opportunity he got, he either got injured or it fell flat.
Right. So I'm just looking at the roster right now to see if like I can remember who I thought.
Because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I see it, especially with that contract, but I just feel like what a dud.
Yeah,
What a
that's
dud
true.
of a win.
Yeah.
Like, good for you, Dolph Ziggler.
Hmm.
Now I get to hear you talk about that forever and ever and cut promos about how
I know who's gonna win.
who's gonna win.
I know who's gonna win. Never mind Dolph Ziggler.
Get out of here, Dolph.
The winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal 2018. Lock it in, kids. Rusev.
Ooh.
Rusev is going to win. They cannot deny the crowd.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Rusev win. I just looked at the list of personnel. And I was like, oh yeah, that's
I don't
it.
know.
done.
Damien.
It's either him or Elias. But if Elias is going to be in the
No,
tag
Elias
match,
is going to be in that tag match.
it's not confirmed. because I like the story of it being Kurt Hawkins.
I
That's such a great.
Okay, get out of here, Cassius Ohno. Kurt Hawkins wins the Andre the Giant.
All
Battle
right,
Royal.
man. Whatever.
That's what happens.
It's gonna be Rusev, man.
I mean, it's
It's
has
gotta
to be
be.
Rusev,
It's
but
gotta
it's gonna
be.
be Kurt Hawkins.
It's been too many times that it's been like it's a good way to pop the crowd. And if it's the first match of the night, like on the pre-show, easy pop to get everybody in.
Kurt Hawkins is the second to last person. He gets eliminated by Rusev.
Yeah. No, Kurt Hawkins teams with Braun Strowman and finally gets his first
But
victory.
it's Elias.
Yeah.
And then the no longer the Fabulous Moolah. By the way, what is your take on the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal?
They should have
fiasco?
never named it after her.
Never in a million years.
It was a slow ball to name it after China. And you don't have to call it the China Memorial Battle Royal. You can use her real name, whose name's escaped me at the moment.
Joni Lorner.
Yeah, just call it the Joni Lorner Memorial Battle Royal. That way you don't have to worry about like the kids looking up porn, blah, 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 pornography's bad, boo. But if you just call it by her real name, and if you type in that name, you're probably more likely to get like more stuff about her death than about her life.
What's Trish Stratus? Lita?
But it's a memorial.
I know, but
So it has to be someone who's dead.
you just name it after Mae Young again.
Yeah, I would say you do that or name it like, Mae Young again. No,
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's literally nothing wrong with that.
you can name it after like.
The 2007 to 2012 Women's Division Battle
Who's
Royal.
a famous female wrestler who's died other than China?
Moolah.
Mae Young. I'm not talking about older, so I'm talking about wrestlers who like
Wendy Richter.
who was like China is it's China.
I mean, first off,
it's China.
can we
It
talk about-
fits.
It's bullshit how WWE.
Andre the Giant is the 8th wonder of the world. China is the 9th. They're both they both broke through the ceiling of what wrestling is.
I think
They're both huge stars. They both died tragically. It has to be China.
WWE's reasoning for why they don't pay more attention to China is a cop-out.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. She died. You need to fucking pay attention
Yeah.
to China.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
Yeah,
how
it's terrible.
They go, well, she did porn, so we can't. Who cares? China
Yeah.
is. You don't have.
Just use a real name. That way people don't look up China and then get
Just
porn.
over it.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's her.
Look, if I look up Ultimate Warrior, one of the first things I'm gonna see
His racist remarks.
racist, homophobic douchebaggery.
Yeah.
But he's fine. But
Or if you want to be equality, just call it the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The women. For women.
for women, diet.
Now,
Andre the
yeah,
Giant Battle-
now in 3 new flavors.
No. The WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal is fine. Anyway, Becky Lynch.
You think Becky Lynch?
I mean, I want Becky Lynch to win.
I'm gonna look at the
I
roster
did interview
again.
her.
I'm gonna look at the roster again just to make sure that I lock in what I think.
But it's like, who else? Who else wins that? Who else needs that? I feel like the only other person would be like Sonya Deville.
Bailey. I'm not. That's not my pick. I'm just saying like Bailey could use it.
So they're not doing a Bailey Sasha Banks match because that's a waste.
Yeah, they're both gonna be in the battle royal.
That is
It's been announced.
Waste. That is a waste of
I don't think anybody from SmackDown's gonna win it, honestly.
I think someone from SmackDown has to.
Because I think Rusev's gonna win the Andre, so I think they're gonna pick someone from Raw to win the women's.
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, and she's a team. You gotta keep it as a team. So
yeah, but she's.
I think
they obviously see her being the breakout star.
you know what'd be really great, and I would
Dana
love
Brooke.
this. No,
Dana Brooke.
it'd be great, but I don't think they're gonna do it. So I'm not gonna lock it in. But Mickie James would be a great one because then you could like, I don't know how close she is to retiring, but it'd be a perfect send off for
I don't
her.
think she's close to retiring.
Yeah, I don't think
but-
so either. That's why I don't think that's not my choice. I'm going to pick.
Sasha Banks.
I'm gonna pick Bailey.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Bailey. I'm officially locking it in.
I want it to be Becky Lynch because Becky Lynch needs something.
I think everybody has something
But you're-
that they're the first at in the 4 Horsewomen, except for Bailey.
I think she's.
She was in the first Iron
she's the
Woman
most
match,
over.
but that was in NXT.
I think Bailey in NXT was the most over.
Yeah, I think Becky's the first SmackDown Women's Champion. Charlotte's the first Women's Champion.
She's the
Sasha won the she won something else. Like she was the first of something.
She's the first. She and Alexa Bliss had the first ever women's match in Abu Dhabi.
That's right. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So yeah, I think you got to give Bailey something as a first, and that could easily be the first woman to
And
win
they
the
are,
Andre the Giant
and that could
Memorial
be
Battle
part of
Royal.
a storyline with Sasha Banks. Yeah.
I think it's
Bailey's
going to be
a good
Bailey.
choice.
And that way it puts you back on track, and you can kind of hint at a heel turn and have it be Sasha and her as the final 2. And then basically, Or it'd be better if it was who's a heel, female heel. Could be on SmackDown. If you want.
Natalya.
Natalia, perfect. Pick Natalia. It'll be Natalia, Becky, Sasha, and Bailey.
Dana Brooke.
No.
Dana Brooke is going to be the
Or it
best.
could be Shayna Baszler.
Ooh.
Or Ember Moon. Ember Moon could make sense.
Or fucking Aaliyah. They got to do something with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Bailey. I think it's gonna be Bailey turning on Sasha as like a hey, ha ha ha, I got you for once
Let's see that.
kind of thing. And it won't be her turning heel, but it'll be her standing up for herself.
And then what will probably be the opener, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali.
It's a tough one.
I'm a little bummed it's not Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
But I'm really good because because you and I watched Steven
Yeah,
Larson.
yeah.
I'm kind of on Larson's side. I think Mustafa Ali is going to take it because I think they're going to turn Cedric Alexander heel.
I think Cedric is gonna win. Because I'll tell you my reason. Because I remember thinking about this the other day.
Yeah,
Mustafa Ali doesn't need the title.
I know, but he deserves it.
He deserves it. That's
Above-
fine. But
above
so does
everybody
Cedric.
else.
So I could say that.
I
But let
feel
me finish.
Okay.
So I think Mustafa Ali, him just being at WrestleMania is basically his story being complete.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to make everybody believe that someone with a name like his can be a good guy.
Which is such a
You
great
don't need to
storyline.
win to do that. Cedric, his story is, if I don't win the title, this means nothing. So giving him the title, it gives him like maybe have him cheat to win. I don't know, but he wins. I think Cedric pulls it out.
I agree with your idea.
Mhm.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I think he needs to hold it. I think he deserves the title.
Mhm.
But I think him not winning it at WrestleMania and snapping, he can always challenge for the title on the next 205 Live and take it off Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
They need a heel. They need
a heel, but they got like Buddy Murphy could be a heel. You got Drew Gulak. You got Tony Nese. You got Jack Gallagher. You have plenty of heels.
That's fair, but they need.
I'm saying Cedric is a perfect person because he's someone that like he was supposed to be the champion.
Oh yeah.
He was screwed,
Then
and the fact that
stuff happened.
yeah, and so I think his story and like him talking about his daughter
Oh.
and stuff like that. That's such a you could have him bring in the daughter
Yeah.
when he wins the title, and just be like, "See, baby, I'm a champ now." I could see it in my head.
Yeah.
It has to be Cedric.
I like my idea because it involves treachery.
Yeah, I think Mustafa will win it 2 months from WrestleMania.
Yeah. So
I think he'll win it there.
Ali Alexander.
Alexander.
Next up. This one's a waste of time. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. It's Kurt Angle and Ronda
Triple
Rousey.
H. I'm just kidding. It's Ronda Rousey.
You know, I think it makes more
So,
sense storyline.
So I think we should just just let me get put over here.
Yeah.
I just feel like people like you shouldn't be in the world.
No, it will definitely be Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, of
Ronda
course.
Rousey gets the victory for
Yeah.
her team. Kurt Angle.
Although, I'll throw this wrench into the wheel. So, remember way back when Brock Lesnar came back and he lost to Triple H at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
It was kind of just to prove that he's willing to do the job when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something along those lines where it's like they cheat to win, of course. It's not going to be, maybe Kurt Angle gets beat by Triple H rather than the other way.
If it wasn't
as
WrestleMania.
a proof that Ronda Rousey's here to do her job, not to just be a winner.
If it wasn't WrestleMania,
You would agree?
I would
Okay.
put
Yeah.
some I would think about it.
Yeah.
But there's literally no way Ronda
Yeah,
Rousey
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree too. I
And
was just
it's-
throwing
and-
in that
and-
food for thought, you know.
And Ronda Rousey has to get the victory. Like
Yeah.
if Triple H
Armbar.
Yeah, if
And then
like,
they could have Steph come out the next night on Raw with like a
that's
cast
what-
on.
Like even if Kurt Angle picked up the victory, I think it would fall flat. It's got to be Ronda Rousey causing Stephanie McMahon to tap out.
Mm. I think they're going to tap them both out at the same time in the
That
ring.
would be sweet.
That's what's going to happen.
Ankle lock and an armbar.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Next up, we have Cesaro and Sheamus the Bar
The bar. Oh, yeah, right.
taking on Braun Strowman and a partner who's to be determined, even though his name is Elias.
Kurt Hawkins.
No, it's Elias.
I wanted Kurt Hawkins so bad. Or what other people were saying was James Ellsworth.
Or I'd like or Alexa
That would be great.
Bliss.
Ah, that's dumb.
I know.
They
but
won't have mixed gender.
obvious. So Braun Strowman's gonna win.
Right. And maybe Sheamus can finally go get his back
Yeah.
rested and
If
stuff.
that's even the case.
I think Braun will win it just to lose to the next night to Authors of Pain.
Oh yeah.
I think Authors of Pain are going to make a surprise appearance because Braun's like, nobody could ever beat me. I'm the tag team champions with
then Authors
my
of-
partner Kurt Hawkins.
I don't know.
And then
if
you just hear,
Ella Rig's not coming with the Authors of Pain, they might keep Authors of Pain down.
but it's a good way to establish them as a dominating tag team
I agree.
is by having them beat Braun. Or
I
have them
agree.
beat whoever his partner is, Elias or that. You know, like have
No,
them like,
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
just think, and then I don't understand why it's not the Revival, but that's just me.
you might be testing the waters because they haven't
The
only been
injuries.
uninjured for like what 6 months.
Yeah.
So like give them a year and then maybe that's what they did with the club though too. Club they let it sit for like a year and then they finally gave them the title.
Very true.
So you know
And then we have what will probably happen. I think Alexa Bliss will take on Nia Jax before Charlotte Flair and Asuka.
right.
And
Just out of the fact that she won the Royal Rumble, it has
Alexa
nothing to do
Bliss
with
might
abilities. Nia Jax is winning. Or no,
although Carmella's gonna win,
can I say who's gonna win with a caveat?
Yeah.
I still think they're gonna do Carmella cashing in the title at WrestleMania on that very Seth Rollins like.
Mm-hmm.
She has to win because it's the first. If it's the first, you have to win. After that, they can have whoever lose.
I agree. It makes no sense.
They're not going
have
to do it with
the first-
Asuka and Charlotte just because that match is going to. They can't have fuckery with
Well,
it.
no one wins. No one wins if Carmella cashes
right.
in.
So I think she I think she cashes at WrestleMania against them, and I think it will be like Nia. Like Nia gets bumped out on the outside. Carmella sneaks in, cashes in, and beats Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I agree.
So. Do you agree that's what's going to happen?
I mean, I agree if that's what's going to happen.
Okay,
That's how it
yeah.
happens.
So
but
if that doesn't happen, then it's Nia. Nia wins.
I think the problem is she has till June to cash in, and we've been expecting her to cash in pretty much every single time.
I thought Money in the Bank is in like May.
No, it's in June.
Okay.
Next up, we'll have Randy Orton take on Bobby Roode and Jinder Mahal, and Bobby Roode will win. Or I'm pissed.
I disagree.
I know.
The Mother de Maharaja
Yeah,
will win
I
it.
know.
He's going to win, dude.
I know, but
I have to speak to my people.
I think it's
Yeah,
ridiculous
Mother de Maharaja is going to
how
win,
they
dude.
have- how you messed up Bobby Roode, I don't understand.
Yeah. I think that's what they're going to do, and then they can have Bobby Roode chase the title for a bit and maybe get it back at SummerSlam.
They haven't announced the match yet, but Daniel.
No, they did. They announced.
No, I mean,
that match.
So
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan. I don't think Shane McMahon's going to be part of the match.
I think he is.
He's going into surgery.
For real, or for
He's
play?
got diverticulitis.
Turkey like it. Wow.
See,
Turkey.
That's me.
Damn, I can't say it. You got me, man.
he's got some disease, and he's got to go in for surgery.
Is that for real?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up.
it's
I
legit.
don't think that's real.
But Daniel Bryan will probably be taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. Daniel Bryan will win. He will
Yeah.
win. He will win. Daniel Bryan will win.
Oh yeah.
The question is does he hit them with the knee plus at the same time? Yes, he does. He does, and it's great, and the audience pops. My question is, does he not do the diving
Damn,
headbutt?
that just got announced today.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's-
I've been driving all day,
And
so I haven't seen that.
That's why I'm kind of.
Okay.
I don't think Shane McMahon's gonna be part of the match.
He'll find a partner. He'll find a tag partner.
Elias.
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
No. Who? Samoa Joe.
Ooh.
It'll be Joe. Easy.
A face
Joe.
Samoa Joe. I love
Yeah,
it.
It's gonna be Joe. Joe's already. They've
He's
said
on
he's
SmackDown.
cleared.
And then he's on SmackDown.
They're doing a shakeup in less than a month after, and it's WrestleMania.
I love it.
He could be like, "Oh, I asked a favor for Kurt Angle."
Either way, Daniel Bryan is winning, and
Yeah.
and he's going to get all
Yeah.
of the people in New Orleans, which I think is great because WrestleMania 30 is where he won the title.
That
in
match
New
is gonna
Orleans.
go on later in the show.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
I'm just kind
be.
of trying to spread it out.
I know. I think it's gonna be second to last match.
Yeah.
I think Ronda Rousey goes before it, and then Roman Brock goes last.
So, no, Shinsuke and AJ. I think we might.
I think they open with Shinsuke.
I don't know. If Roman Reigns is winning that title, they might want to send the audience happy. They might want to send them home happy. The audience won't be happy if Roman Reigns wins the title.
Unless you get
No.
like, I know everybody's joking and everybody's talking crap, but I have a feeling this match could be good.
I think it's going to be good.
We'll talk about it when we get to it,
but
but
I
I'll
think
talk about it.
it's that Pavlovian.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
let me.
Okay. No.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
So
We got Miz taking on Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
You got Balor?
Balor for the Intercontinental title, and Finn Balor is going to win it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think he wins it. And that way they could write off Miz real quick, and then have maybe have Miz versus Seth at Backlash. Miz versus Seth at Backlash. Yeah, and then they can have that. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of trading between them two.
Mm-hmm.
If they do like each win, like they did with Sasha and Charlotte back in the day.
Well, if they're trying to get Miz up to greatest Intercontinental Champion,
He's having his kids soon, so I think he's gonna ask for some time off to like spend like paternity leave.
His baby is coming around around WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think because it has been announced yet, and they always do it. I think they're gonna announce either tonight, actually probably right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already been announced. They're probably gonna announce that to be a ladder match.
Ooh.
And that way they can write off Miz and say he's injured with the ladder match.
Maybe take him out early.
And
so
then,
it's just Seth Rollins.
Then if Miz can't make WrestleMania, they can say vacate it, hang it above. Whoever gets it, gets it.
I like it.
I think it's going to be announced as a ladder match. It hasn't been rumored or anything like that. That's what I think they might do, though.
Then we got Charlotte Flair taking on Asuka. It's Asuka. Asuka moves to SmackDown as Women's Champion. SmackDown becomes watchable.
I think they combine the women's titles.
I bleeping love Asuka so bleeping much.
I don't think I've talked to you about that yet, but I think they're going to combine both the titles.
I actually think they're going to, too.
I think they're going to do that and then make a women's tag division.
I agree. I think that's a great way. I think it's a good way to go. Yeah. I don't think you need 2 women's titles.
No. You just have them float.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Have the champion float. They'll test out the water, how floating does. If it's hardcore, they won't do it. But if they keep it, it'll be fine. Yeah. I think they keep it. You know what I would love them to do? This is an idea I had, and I know you're going to poo-poo it because you love women's wrestling. And
I do love women's wrestling.
So I'm curious to hear what your opinion of this idea is. Is instead of having 2 women's titles, what you do is you just have the women's division on both shows. All right. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have the main card, the women's championship, and then a mid-card title, the Divas Championship.
I don't think it should be called the Divas Championship.
No, I think it will be literally the Divas Championship. It'll be a mid-card title.
I don't have a problem with a mid-card title for the women. I just don't like.
You don't think the Divas Championship? It would be kind of like an homage to that little bit of era.
It's a bad era to remember.
That's true. I guess so. I think it makes sense because it's looked down upon.
They might make like a featherweight belt or something like that.
Something like that,
yeah.
Or the women's intercon.
Women's intercontinental wouldn't be
I don't like that. I don't like it when they take titles that exist and just make it for women.
I got in a Facebook argument when they announced the Women's Royal Rumble where some guy tried to argue that by forcing history you kind of dilute what the Royal Rumble means, and I went, how?
That doesn't make sense.
I was like, how?
Yeah. I can see that. Like, I can see it diluting the women's, like the natural progression of women's revolution by force feeding a bunch of firsts.
Every gimmick match you do that is gonna be a women's first.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just since it's been.
I think they should stop just saying the first ever. I think the fact that you're saying it's the first ever makes it kind of demeaning. It reminds the audience how much you don't give a shit about the women back in the day.
But just 6 years ago, women's wrestling, if a match went longer than 7 minutes, that was like, oh wow.
I remember Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bellas, and it went like 8 minutes, and everybody was like,
whoa. And that was just 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think, while I will agree that them constantly going to the women's revolution is getting old, at the same time, I'm like, it literally just happened.
Yeah, that's why I think they should just cut it out with the first and just say, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Or we're going to have an elimination chamber match. It doesn't have to be the first ever women's elimination chamber match. It can just be the elimination chamber. No need to make it a big deal, because if you want to make them seem like equals, you got to make it like actually be equal by like obviously making it seem like it's the first and making a big deal out of it being the first. It kind of demeans it.
I know, but it's WWE. They're not always the best with.
Right. I get it. It's a marketing ploy. You can put that on a commercial.
I think the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura, A, was allowed to keep his name, B, wasn't called Kung Fu Naki, and C, is not a stereotypical Japanese person right now, is a testament to how far WWE has come. The fact that
isn't he like the first foreigner? No, because Sheamus won.
And Alberto Del Rio.
That's true. Okay, never mind. Next.
So then I'm going to go with this match coming second because I think
AJ Nakamura?
I think that's going to close the show, but Brock Lesnar is going to give the title to Roman Reigns.
He's just gonna hand it over.
And we might as well.
He's just like,
I would,
ding, ding, ding.
Honestly, I would enjoy that. I would enjoy it if he was just like, here you go.
Yeah.
And him and Paul.
That'd be fucking cool.
I would love it.
That'd be so cool. Like, I like weird bookings like that. I know people are like, well, that's like, we gotta send the fans home happy.
I'm saying I would love it, knowing it's not gonna happen.
If he just like shows up in his gear, like his normal sweats and his tank top, it's a Suplex City WrestleMania.
Roman Reigns
and
like,
he just
you didn't even come here to
walks
wrestle.
in. He's like, they're like, it's gonna be a street fight. He's got street clothes on. It's gonna be a street fight. Ding, 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 and he just drops the title.
Walks off
and just leaves.
And then Roman Reigns would have to track him down and beat him up. And
No. He's just like stunned, and he just picks up the title, and you just hear the ref. They just go, and your winner of this match, Roman Reigns. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And then it's a. I know every fantasy booking is always about turning Roman Reigns heel, but that could be an easy way to turn him heel. Just say like Vince told Brock to give him the title.
Yeah.
And it could be like a really controversial, but it's interesting.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I know. But back to what I was trying to say earlier, I don't think this is going to be a bad match.
I don't either.
I think they're going to fucking destroy the place.
I
think they're going to Braun Strowman that entire building with themselves. I think it's going to be one of those things where they do these every once in a while where the night of the show they announce a stipulation that wasn't previously thing. It's going to be no DQ, false count anywhere. And I think they're going to destroy the building.
Dean Ambrose sits at home glaring.
Yeah.
He had a
it won't be like hit you with chair kind of match. It's going to be like a Braun match.
It's going to be a physical fight.
And it's going to be like one of those things because I think it is going to go on last. And the reason why is because they're going to destroy the ring. I think they're going to do like they did with Undertaker where he rips up the mat. And it's going to be like a board. I think he'll put him through like a fake board that's going to snap. And he'll be like, God, he just put him through the ring. And like things like that. And it's going to be a massacre. And of both sides, I think it's gonna be equal, equal, and then Roman just catches them and wins. You know, like maybe go through go through the Titantron.
Ooh. I mean, they're gonna have to do that but I mean, Roman Reigns wins.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to do all of that violence.
That's what I think they're gonna do.
Because the match that you think they're gonna follow, which is gonna be the best match ever. AJ Styles takes on Shinsuke Nakamura, and this is one of those very few matches where I don't really know who's going to win.
Nakamura's going to win.
I mean, I want Nakamura to win.
Lock it in, kids. Nakamura's going to win.
It's AJ Styles. The only reason I see Nakamura winning is if the rumors of AJ Styles going to Raw are true.
Shinsuke has been toyed around so much, he has to win this title.
He has to.
Also, AJ's totally going to Raw.
Yeah.
I know you don't think he is. I think he is. I think he's going to Raw, and the best way to do that is to have him lose the title, and then Shinsuke finally gets his moment that we've been begging for him finally being put on top, being the first ever Japanese WWE champion. Big moment, confetti. Mm-hmm. Woo!
And then him and Roman Reigns hug it out to end recreating that scene at WrestleMania 20.
Don't tear my heartstrings, man. I'm sensitive. I'm very, very sensitive.
Eddie Guerrero hugged
sensitive.
Eddie Guerrero hugged himself and then held up air as Eddie rained down on just Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Shinsuke will win, and it'll be awesome. I think it'll be a great match. I don't think it's going to be as good as a Wrestle Kingdom match.
I think
it might feel bigger, but it's not going to be better.
I don't know.
Because I don't know if you know this, like. That's my favorite match, probably.
It's a great match.
That match, I have a hard time picking that one and Chris Hero versus Zack Sabre Jr. at Mystery Vortex, I believe it was. That match was fantastic, too. But that's like my favorite match because I caught it by accident, and I watched it, and it was
I think that's a lot of people's
great.
Introduction to New Japan was AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Yeah. That was the first Wrestle Kingdom I saw. I was watching New Japan almost a year before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard about it through Global Force because I was following Global Force on Twitter.
Global Force.
And they basically sponsored it.
Chael Sonnen is going to be our color commentator.
Right, I know, yeah. But that was like where I heard about it, and I watched, and I started watching, and then I watched Wrestle Kingdom 10, and that match, so good.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. I don't know. I think it'll be different. I think it'll be just as good, but I think it'll be different.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to see them pulling out pile drivers and dragon suplexes and stuff like that.
They'll do dragon suplexes. That's fine.
They'll do safer.
Yeah.
They're not going to do Kenny Omega.
No, they're not doing Snapdragon.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll do like the big moves, but they won't do anything like pile drivers.
Yeah, no. I love the pile driver.
But because it's Shinsuke and AJ, I bet you they go full stiff. I bet you WWE's like, it's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
It's totally okay. Murder
AJ
each other.
Styles gets his nose broken.
Because I'll be like, that's why I think it's not going to go on last, because that's going to be the main event for the hardcore fans.
Mm-hmm.
But the main event for the casuals, the people who don't watch New Japan, that's Brock and
Don't get me
Roman.
wrong. I think Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns is going to be a good match. I mean, Undertaker, Roman Reigns was as good as it was going to be.
I disagree. That match was garbage.
It wasn't good, but it was.
I hated that match.
Undertaker can't. Oh, speaking of matches that haven't been announced yet, John Cena, Undertaker.
Yeah, I have Undertaker too. I think it will actually be his last match.
It has to be.
I think he'll come out. He won't be dressed up as the Undertaker, but he won't be American Badass like everybody says. I think he'll just be like
old bastard Undertaker.
Yeah, like I think it'd be cool if they did like kind of paying homage to Logan,
and
just have him come out. He's like gray beard, gray hair,
like
and then
like the build up to WrestleMania 27 when they were playing the Johnny Cash "Ain't No Grave Can Hold My Body Down." That was so good.
Yeah, but have him come out like gray hair, gray beard, kind of looking like an old man, like he's on his last leg, and just come out and just be like kick ass, and he's just like he wins but barely.
What's up?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Undertaker.
Yeah, so that's how I think they should do it. But I think, I think
Undertaker's last match, so he's probably gonna close the show.
No.
Oh, it's Undertaker's last match.
I think it will be his last match, but I don't think it's gonna be his last time on TV. I think he'll show up on Raw the next day and give a farewell speech out of character.
Maybe because I feel like that's.
I think we won't know if it's his last match. They'll do the same thing where he'll win, and he'll be all old and grizzled, and he'll just leave, and people will be like, "Wow, the Undertaker, he's so great." And then he'll come out the next night and be like, Jones. How does it?
Cena.
John Cena.
Legacy.
I'll be telling you that you brought me to my limit, but your limit wasn't good enough. You know.
You will rest in.
You're egotistical.
Taking workout videos on your wife's Instagram.
Right. So that's how I think they're doing. I don't think it'll be the last match because it will be his last match, but it won't be like a hurrah. Because I think last year was the hurrah for the Undertaker, and this is more of like retirement for like him as a wrestler.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, like Mark Calloway as a wrestler.
Yeah. I see that.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I do it.
Regardless, this is shaping up to be a. WrestleMania 30 wasn't bad. I disagreed with some of how the matches ended, but it wasn't a bad WrestleMania.
I have to rewatch it.
So even if my predictions are wrong, I still feel like we're about to watch a really great WrestleMania coming up.
So let's do a recap real quick of our picks. So Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I got Rusev.
Rusev is going to win, but I wanted to be Kurt Hawkins so bad.
You do you, man.
Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal, you've got Bayley.
I got Bayley.
I think I'm going with Sasha Banks.
Oh, you switched it to because you had Becky Lynch originally.
Well, now that you're bringing up that storyline, I'm like, that's going to be the focus of the women.
Yeah.
And as much as I want Becky Lynch is such a non-factor right now.
That's exactly my point. I think she's going to be more of a deal when they do Shuffle. But back. So then what's after that? It's
Cedric Alexander versus.
I have Cedric.
I went with Ali.
Right.
Then Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey are obviously going to be Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Then we have The Bar versus Braun Strowman and his to-be-determined Elias partner.
Kurt Hawkins.
It will definitely be Braun Strowman
so good.
doing the pinning, though.
People get so stoked if it's Kurt Hawkins.
And then I don't think I picked anyone for Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax.
I had Nia Jax if they don't do a cash-in with Carmella.
And I'm going to say Alexa Bliss because Alexa Bliss is just killing it.
Yeah, but I think she's had the title long enough. And
I agree, but the problem with
Nia's been killing it.
Here's my problem with Alexa Bliss. I mean, why I think Alexa Bliss is going to be such
I want
to
kiss her
champion.
face. And
that too. No, Alexa Bliss will,
what?
Like, Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss on paper works out, and then when you see it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And Alexa Bliss is going to be the best women's wrestler ever. She's a sleeper. She's a sleeper because she's adaptable.
No, she'll be like how The Rock is seen as the best wrestler. Like, yeah, he's most popular and the most charismatic, but he wasn't the best
I
wrestler.
agree. But Alexa Bliss, I think if Carmella doesn't win, Alexa Bliss is going to win.
Okay.
And then Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal. I went with Roode.
Maradit Maharaja. Jinder Mahal.
I'm not happy about it, but it'll probably happen. And then Daniel Bryan will win his match.
Yep.
John Cena, Undertaker will win his match.
Yep.
Then Charlotte Flair versus Asuka.
It's Asuka.
We both said Asuka.
Yep.
And then we have Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
I had Finn.
Finn Balor. He will
Yeah.
definitely win. I also had Finn. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
And then I think we split on AJ Styles versus...
I say
didn't pick.
Nakamura.
You're saying Nakamura.
Nakamura.
AJ Styles, unless he goes to Raw.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, I think Shinsuke wins. I think it just makes the most sense.
Daniel Bryan coming back changes a lot of stuff.
Well, because, like, who won the Royal Rumble last year?
Orton.
Orton. And did he win? Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
And the year before that, it was
Triple H.
And he didn't win.
No, he won.
He won the title, but he lost at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because, like, they always try to, like, make it a little weirdly balanced.
WrestleMania 31 was Roman, and he lost. WrestleMania 30 was Batista, and he lost.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of loss. You got to have a victory.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why Nakamura will win. Plus, come on, man.
I agree. I want Nakamura to win.
If he loses, he's going to lose all momentum, and nobody's going to give a damn about it. If you want to set up Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura, you got to make Shinsuke Nakamura look believable to beat Daniel Bryan.
As long as I want Nakamura to have a long title reign if he wins.
I think he'll hold it to at least SummerSlam.
Yeah, but then who does he lose it to?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. You're
think-
right.
Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan will win it and then lose it the next pay-per-view or the next even night. And I think
I like
it's
that
going to be
plan.
Shinsuke Bryan at SummerSlam, Kurt Angle Bryan at Survivor Series because it's brand versus brand,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think at WrestleMania it's going to be AJ versus Bryan. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's my prediction.
All right. What a great podcast this was.
Yes, sir, it was.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Sit Down and Pile Drive. We have our lineup of shows underneath you. Make sure you check that stuff out. Color Circuit has a variety of shows we bring you every day of every week, all of the time, and you need to check it out. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to be doing Tales from the Undertaker for all of you Pathfinder tabletop RPG people. So make sure you check that out. Check us out on Instagram at Color Circuit Live. Check us out on the Facebook. We got a Patreon. Make sure you check that out, guys. And for myself,
And myself.
have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.